Live from the tank at the Sports and Recreation Center at the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you to coverage of the 18th Annual Tournament of Heroes at the College of Staten Island. Tonight, the CSI Dolphins, coming in with a record of 3-6, host for the first time in program history the Curry College Colonels, coming in with a record of 3-5. Good evening, everybody. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Mike Babuski. Mike, the 18th Annual Tournament of Heroes started with a game previous to this. It was Wheaton College coming out with a victory. They will await the winner of this game in tomorrow afternoon's championship at 3 o'clock as we get set for our featured game of the evening. It's Curry against Staten Island.
Yeah, and as you can see up on your screen, Dave, and you mentioned the Dolphins coming in looking to defend their Tournament of Heroes victory in 2018. A couple of new opponents the Dolphins will be facing first. Curry College here tonight, and if the Dolphins should make it to the championship round tomorrow, then they would play Wheaton College. So two new teams for the CSI Dolphins potentially to play in the Tournament of Heroes this year.
Right, and Mike, we have about 6 or 7 minutes before the start of this one, and when that clock strikes 0 on your screen, we will send it down live to a celebration, if you will, of the three gentlemen that we honor today, Terrence Aiken, Scott Davidson, and Tom Hannafin, whose memory gets relived each and every year during this Tournament of Heroes, along with all the folks who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. Mike, until that time, let's talk a little bit about the Dolphins. They're 3-6. They keep flirting with 500, but they roll into this one on a 2-game losing streak. They've lost their last 2 games, both on the road against Medgar Evers and then against Pace University, a nationally ranked Division II team. This is a get-right tournament for the Dolphins that they hope they can string together 2 wins and go into the second half of their season on a positive note.
Yeah, the Dolphins looking to get back on the winning track. They had, started to heat up a little bit and, won a couple of games within against Division II opponents before having that tough loss against Medgar Evers and then running into a little bit of a buzzsaw with Pace University. But like you say, Dave, the Dolphins have been off for about 10 days since their last game and, looking to come and bounce back first here against Curry College, which should be a challenge for the Dolphins before they worry about looking ahead to tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, and as far as the Dolphins are concerned, they're getting a healthy contribution from Adeola Latunji. He's averaging over 20 points per game. He's the only Dolphin in double figures. He also leads the team in rebounding, in steals. He's shooting over 70% from the line, over 50% from the field. Mike, he is having a tremendous senior season.
Yeah, he's really coming out and playing very strong. And, we've seen times where Adeola can explode to the basket. He has the ability to hit that mid-range jumper and the three-point shot as well, where he's shooting just under 30%. And, he's somebody that really makes the offense go. The only Dolphin player, Dave, averaging in double figures.
Yeah, and the rest of the supporting cast has been just that, supporting. Andrew Cartalis next in line, averaging over 9 points per game. He's the team leader with 23 pointers. And then Joe Ziris averaging 8.4, Rigo Destim averaging 8.3, and Austin Mick averaging 7.9, kind of round out the scoring threats that the Dolphins have had this year.
Yeah, and Dave, you look at Andrew and Ziris and Rigo Destim and Austin Mick and even Chris Velasquez, and, you see signs of improving offense. Velasquez really showing much more confidence than he did last year. And, and the other players, Cartalis, Ziris, Destim, and Mick at times have shown the ability to really be a force offensively. The problem is they haven't gotten the kind of consistent play that you really need from your 2, 3, and 4 scorers.
Yeah, absolutely. You see on your screen the former CSI head coach, Tony Petoza, who, of course, originated this tournament. Mike, it's a tournament that honors 3 former CSI Dolphins who died on 9/11. We're getting set for a ceremony coming up in about 3.5 minutes. Let's take a swing now at Curry. First time we're ever seeing them in men's basketball. They come in a record of 3-5. Deceptive, Mike. They started the season very strong, 3-0, but they've lost their last 5 games, many of those by double digits, and they're looking for this tournament to also get right, to get themselves back up to 500 and get themselves ready for a strong back end of 1920.
Yeah, they're a team that's coming in, Dave, averaging 76 points a game. They have three players with double-digit scoring, led by Gerard Thought Johnson, their 6'3" senior that's coming in, averaging 19 points a game, along with 7.1 rebounds. So he's a player the Dolphins are going to need to certainly keep an eye out for. And Kieran Carroll, I should say, the 6'5" senior, averaging just under 10 rebounds. So there are a couple of factors that the Dolphins are going to absolutely have to deal with tonight. Like the Dolphins, Curry out-rebounded by about 6.5 rebounds a game. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the Dolphins could do on the glass against Curry here tonight.
So, Mike, we have about 2 minutes before we get this one underway with our pregame ceremony. After that, we'll have tip-off. Pregame ceremony will be about 8 to 10 minutes long. So we're looking at about a 7:50, 7:55 tip-off. Mike, why don't we step aside? When we come back, we'll throw it down to the public address system here. We'll take in the story of our three honorees, and we'll get you ready for tip-off here live from the tank at the Sports and Recreation Center. The crowd is filing in, and we're getting set for the 18th annual Tournament of Heroes Game 2. Stay with us.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island.
Welcome back here to the tank at the Sports and Recreation Center. The floor is clear, and we're getting set for the Tournament of Heroes pregame ceremony. What Mike and I will do is we'll go off headset. We'll keep our microphones hot so you can take in the pregame ceremonies here as we get set for our 18th annual Tournament of Heroes tip-off between Curry and the College of Staten Island. Stay with us.
On September 11, 2001, tonight we honor Terrence Aiken, Scott Davidson, and Tom Hannafin. Ladies and gentlemen, for almost 2 decades, we've been blessed to learn more about our 3 heroes and spend time with their friends and families here for our tournament. We learned of the examples they set on the basketball court and the loving individuals they proved themselves to be off the court. Our 3 honorees tonight were not just CSI basketball players. There were 3 loving children, brothers, and fathers who served as tremendous role models to their communities, loving friends, who learned the value of sportsmanship, teamwork, and commitment to a greater purpose. Their common denominator was their love of the game of basketball, and they shared the experience of doing it here at the College of Staten Island. Many who knew them knew of how important their time at our institution was to them, how they treasured the experience into their adult lives and into the experiences they had as valued members of the community and the workplace leading to the tragedy on 9/11. Let us remember them now. Our first hero we honor is our friend Terrence Andre Aiken. His stay with our men's basketball program was a short one, as he joined CSI by way of transfer for only a single season in 1994-95. which saw the Dolphins make the NCAA Division III National Tournament while winning 20 games. He carried a light disposition, took basketball very seriously. In fact, when he came out for the team that year, former coach Tony Petosa remembers his firm handshake and the basketball resume that he carried with him. His mature approach, yet fun-loving persona was essential to the team that year. He was one of the first and only people on the roster that carried a cell phone, and it was constantly attached to his ear. It showed how infectious his personality was, but also to his passion for technology. Alongside the latest gadgets, Terrence enjoyed taking apart and putting computers back together again. He was ecstatic when he landed a job with Vital Computer Technologies at the World Trade Center in September of 2001. 9/11 was only Terrence's 6th day on the job, and as dedicated as he was to every endeavor he pursued, he got there early that morning. At just 30 years of age, Terrence left behind a wife and 3 beautiful children, but more than anything, he left behind a persona that continues to leave everyone in awe even today. Born on Christmas Day, Terrence and his family always got together for the holidays. Tonight, we get together to honor him. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero, Terrence Aiken. Our next honoree, Scott Davidson, played for the Dolphins his entire 4-year career, from 1986 to 1989, starring on a pair of CUNY championship teams. On the court, Scott was the rare team player whose selfless role was to make others better. Scott was a mainstay in the starting lineup, but you won't find his value in the box score. He could sometimes play a full 40 minutes and never take a shot. Instead, his role was to do the harder job of transitioning play, guarding the other team's best player, using his small frame to clog up the middle, taking charges and sprawling on the ground with disregard to his own body to get a loose ball. His teammates recall with no hesitation his ability to carry teams, doing intangibles that oftentimes make good teams great. Scott's opponents remember hating having to play against him, but respecting him after a tough 40 minutes. A few basketball officials can even remember some colorful words Scott had reserved just for them as well. But Scott's intensity, in many ways, was saved for basketball, because many who knew him away from the court knew him as being as playful as a kid at Christmas time away from the court. Scott dedicated a lot of his time spreading fun and love to others around him, even when no one was watching. And one thing was certain: Scott loved Christmas. He earned the respect of the NYPD when he would bring Christmas lights to his car that he hotwired to his car battery. But he would make them laugh when he showed them the fire extinguisher he had in the passenger seat just in case. It's no small wonder that Scott's fiery personality and his love and care for others resulted with his entry into the New York City Fire Department, and later into the World Trade Center on September 11th. Just like in basketball, even in the very worst of situations, Scott was doing what he always done, put himself out there head first, ready to take on whatever came at him. At the age of just 33, Scott left behind a loving family that included his wife, Amy, and 2 children. Often seen at seaside events and tournaments years after graduation, Scott was often a fixture in this building long after his playing days ended. Tonight is our chance to celebrate his energy, spirit, and unwavering heroism on September 11th. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero, Scott Davidson. Our final honoree tonight, Tom Hannafin, was a 4-year standout with the Dolphins from 1983 to 1987. He won 3 championships during his time here and is considered one of the more dynamic two-way players in CSI basketball history, etching a place in the record books in categories like assists and steals. His teammates and coaches will tell you that so long as Tom was on the court, CSI was in the game. feared no one, and was ready to do whatever it took to win. In other words, he was the total package and much of the glue that held everything together. But for all the winning CSI did and all the records Tom was a part of, it was not what people remember most about him. From a big family, that was what was most important to Tom, and it made sense he treated basketball in that way too. For Tom, the basketball court represented a chance to grow away from the court, a chance to make teammates, brothers, and turn friends to loved ones, forever together as family. Tom loved getting the gang together away from basketball. He organized events like ski trips and simple weekend get-togethers for his teammates even well after his playing days were over, keeping them together. People loved going to Tom's place so that the photo albums would come out, some photos of basketball and some other treasured memories. If Tom was out, those same albums traveled with him. It certainly spoke to who he was on the court, the distributor of the basketball, making others around him integral, turning athletes into teammates. Tom chose to play and love the game his entire life, even when he entered the FDNY. And while many in his family, those connected by blood and by basketball, they will talk of Tom simply being there in their lives when it mattered most, just a phone call away to laugh or cry or just enjoy each other's company. So it makes sense then that Tom joined the fire department, where brotherhood and the selfless penchant for coming to the aid of another are standard fare. That desire translated at the World Trade Center. His unit was based in Greenwich Village and was one hit hardest by the attacks, as many in his house perished at the site that day. At the age of just 36, leaving behind 2 children, Tom made the ultimate sacrifice a family member would make for another. And it is an honor to be here for him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero, Tom Hannafin. Ladies and gentlemen, the uniforms of Terrence, Scott, and Tom are on display on the upper concourse of the arena next to the Marathon mural. Please say a silent prayer for them, their families, and all the brave men and women who served as heroes on September 11th, and who serve as heroes every day as part of our uniform and armed forces and civil servants. We want to thank our 3 invited teams for taking part in the Tournament of Heroes and our many sponsors who bring the tournament to you all. At the conclusion of tonight's contest, we will welcome the families of our 3 fallen heroes and alumni to join us in a reception in the Auxiliary Gymnasium. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a standing ovation one more time for Terrence, Scott, and Tom. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for being part of our evening here tonight in honoring our 3 heroes. And thank the families of our heroes for allowing us to continually honor their memories with this tournament. We'd also like to thank tonight's officials and Curry College for their patience. And now, without further ado, we would like to kick off Game 2 of tonight's Tournament of Heroes doubleheader.
Welcome back here to the tank at the Sports and Recreation Center. We want to thank Sal Caruso and the crew across the way for bringing you our pregame ceremony. You know, Mike, I'm not sure how the audio translated. We'll get to the starters in just a moment, but the lives of Terry, Scott, and Tom are in the forefront of our thoughts. I see a lot of family members of theirs in. We saw them on the screen as well. It's a beautiful tribute to them, and it's something that makes this a lot bigger than basketball, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, it really does. And, you know, it's, you know, a ceremony that's moving every single year. And, you know, we had a quick chance to see former head men's basketball coach Tony Petosa walking over to enjoy the opening ceremony. And of course, head coach Petosa really deserving the lion's share of the credit for the building of this tournament and the strengthening of it. And, it's always a great night and, something that we get to celebrate between Christmas and New Year's really every year.
Yeah, and we're going to get a chance to speak a lot more about what the tournament is all about and what it means to us. But let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups as we're getting set for this one. We'll throw it down to Mike. Mike?
Thanks a lot, Dave. First, for the visiting Curry College Colonels, it'll be number 1, Damian Stewart. Number 2, Angelo Sardegna. Number 13, Michael Ashley. Number 23, Gerard Thorpe Johnson. And number 44, Kieran Carroll. For the College of Staten Island, it'll be number 2, Adiola Latunji. Number 3, Rigo Destine. Number 5, Austin Mick. Number 12, Andrew Cartalis. And number 24, Joseph Ziris, the College of Staten Island, of course, coached by head coach T.J. Tibbs.
Yeah, and both teams looking to get right following some losses. Curry comes in on a 5-game losing skid. For the Dolphins, they come in on a 2-game slide, looking to, take a couple of steps towards 500. The Dolphins have played a majority of their schedule against Division II teams. The Dolphins are a divisional Division II team this year, year 1 of a 3-year provisional window. And, of course, that's a big reason why they come in with a record of 3-6. Curry coming in with a record of 3-5. You see it on your screen. Curry is in their deep purple uniforms. They are the visiting team. Obviously, they will go from left to right on your screen, right to left for us. The Dolphins are in their home whites. They'll go from right to left. The Dolphins have been good at home this season. They have beaten New York Tech. They beat Johnson and Wales. They beat CCNY. They're 3-1 at home. Their only loss to nationally ranked St. Thomas Aquinas here, a game that they were in but ultimately lost by 20. Austin Mick controls the opening tip. He gets it up to Adiola Latunji at the top of the arc, who gives way to Cartalis. Ziris looking inside to Latunji. He sidesteps the defender, puts it off the glass and in.
So Latunji gets off to a good start for the Dolphins. They grab a quick 2-0 lead.
So first shot of the game goes in for the Dolphins. Dolphins employing a press and a travel violation called against Sardegna. The freshman gets the start here, and we take another look at that first bucket by Latunji. Sidesteps to his left and gets the first layup to go. The Dolphins receive a turnover in their favor and will look to grow their lead. Latunji rolls around, a long 2-pointer, and that one's good. Just inside the arc for Latunji.
He starts out hot, Dave, and they lead by a score 4-0. And just looking out on the floor, Dave, this Curry team not with a lot of size out on the floor.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, of course, employing a little bit of a press here early. They back off so they can dump back into their zone. Thinking about a 3 was Stewart. Instead, he goes across the court to Ashley. Ashley gives way to Sardegna. Sardegna works it to the left. Back to Stewart. They work it around. Now a 3-point attempt, no good. The miss was by Thorpe Johnson. The putback, no good. Another opportunity by Ashley, and he can't find it. So here comes CSI the other way. 3/4 speed. Latunji stops, backpedals, gives over to Destine. Around the horn, Cartalis and Ziris. Ziris, inside give to Latunji off the glass and in.
Can't start any better than that. 3-3 from the field, 6 points in 90 seconds for Adiola.
Dolphins again looking to press, breaking it were the Colonels. Thorpe Johnson hands off to Stewart. Stewart with the thumbs down. The senior works it around. Thorpe Johnson intercepted by Destine. Destine now runs it up. Hands off to Latunji. He's 3 for 3. Skips inside the paint. His shot was blocked, but he gets the rebound and drops it off to Ziris. Ziris turns towards goal, off the glass and in.
Great start here for the Dolphins. 8 unanswered points.
And 2 turnovers. There's number 3 for Curry as they'll get a quick substitution in. It will be Spencer Feng, who has been a big contributor for the Colonels, mostly off the bench.
Yeah, Curry looking to break a 5-game losing streak, Dave. And, when a team is struggling, you want to try to get up in front of them early. Dolphins doing a good job so far.
And there's a skip pass underneath to Ziris. Puts one off the glass a little too strong. It rolls around, but the rebound finally won by Carroll. And Carroll able to find Sardegna. He backpedals, thought about a long three, now works it back up top to Stewart. Back over to Sardegna. Sardegna getting the baseline, drops off to Feng. Feng for three, no good, it went in and out. Tough break that time for Feng. And this time it's Mick controlling. Mick, the drop off to Cartalis. He gets inside, looked to hand it off to Ziris. Pass was intercepted and stolen away. There comes Stewart the other way, runs into Destine. Has to opt back, gets it back from Feng. Back up top to Stewart. Stewart unleashes a long three-pointer. That one's good.
Yeah, so that's their first make in 5 attempts for the Colonels here tonight.
And for Stewart, that is three-pointer number 23. That leads the team. Another interception by Curry. Turnover, and they turn it back over, and Mick gets to it, fumbled it. Dolphins have it back. So the two teams exchange possessions here, although the shot clock never stopped. And so CSI down to 15. Cartalis to Mick. Mick unloads for three. That's good.
Yeah, and you know, when Mick starts off strong, Dave, he could have a good offensive game as he hits his first three-point attempt.
Austin Mick second on the team. Now he has 18 three-pointers. Second only to Cartalis' 20. Sardegna. He's barking out the signals. Wants some motion from Feng. It gets it. Feng gets it the other way. In front of the CSI bench, he drills the three.
Yeah, 2 3-pointers for the Colonels to pull them within 5.
Feng's 11th three-pointer of the season in 36 tries. Ziris, he gets the give inside. Box off to Destine. Destine for three. He missed it off the side iron. Collected by Carroll. And here comes Curry the other way. Dolphins backing off their press. Stewart inside. Carroll, their biggest threat on the interior, gains the paint, off the glass and in.
That was a strong move by Carroll. He backed Ziris right up to the hoop and laid it up and in. 3-point lead now for the Dolphins.
8-3 run for Curry. Helped along by a couple of Dolphins turnovers. Ziris to Cartalis in the corner. His shot was blocked, but too much contact that time by Damian Stewart. And the senior gets whistled for the foul. We're going to have our first media timeout, and Cartalis going to the line when we come back. 15-12 remaining, first half. Dolphins lead 11-8. Stay with us.
Okay, man, let's see what you got.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We are back here live from the tank at the College of Staten Island. CSI scored the first 8 points of this one, helped along by that three-pointer by Austin Mick. But since then, Curry has scored 8 of the next 11, and they've cut the lead down to 3. There's another step-back long two-pointer for Latunji. The Dolphins have been active here. And when we come back here, this is Cartalis, who will have 3 shots here after he got interfered with on his baseline 3 attempt.
Andrew now just 2 of 6 from the free throw line on the season, Dave, 33%. He'll have 2 more upcoming.
The Dolphins have had their struggles from the line. They're shooting just 60% from the free throw line. And, you know, they score and miss, it seems, in waves, Mike, from the free throw line. When they're hot, they're red hot. And when they're cold, it's been ice cold. And the Dolphins make only 1 of 3. But they do grow the lead to 4. Dolphins employing the press again. Breaking it was Curry. Inside give, wide open, Kieran Carroll, and he gets it to go.
Yeah, the Colonels were able to break that press pretty easily and draw to within 2.
And now they employ the press. Both teams doing a little pressing. We knew coming in that Curry was going to try and do so. Mick barking out the signals. He wants a screen, doesn't get it. Gives it back to Destine. Destine looked in the corner, opts the other way. Cartalis gets it back. Inside give to Latunji, and he's able to go over Feng for the 2.
Yeah, he's got 8 of the 14 Dolphin points on 4 or 5 shooting.
And now the other way, it gets blocked away from Stewart. Curry will have possession. Well, that's one way to beat the press, Mike, is racing down the other end of the floor. Curry's done a good job so far against the Dolphins press here in the early stages. Feng gets it back, finds a wide open Stewart in the corner for 3, missed everything, and Latunji gets the board. Now a touchdown pass to Mick. Mick stops his dribble, opts over to Cartalis. They work it around to Destine. Destine given a lane, he fumbles it out of bounds and out of play.
Yeah, that's already, Dave, the 4th turnover for the Dolphins here in the first half. Curry also charged with 4, though I think that number might be 3, Dave, because you said the shot clock didn't reset on their 4th turnover. So I'm sure head coach TJ Tibbs not happy with 4 quick turnovers for the Dolphins.
And now a 3-point attempt, no good, and going down on the play was Thorpe Johnson. And the other way, that pass is broken up. Ball scurrying around. Curry 4-on-2 the other way. 3-point attempt by Stewart is good.
Yeah, so the Dolphins turn it over and the Colonels make them pay. It's a 1-point game.
Yeah, it was 11-3 at one point. Since then, 10-3 in the Colonels' favor. This is Mick for 3. Unloads, no good. Board by Carroll. Here comes Feng the other way. Down the right sideline, gives over to Stewart. Stewart's been hot from the outside in the early stages. Drop off inside to Carroll. He is surrounded by 3 Dolphins. He's able to find Thorpe Johnson, who misses the layup. Nice job by Carroll to get rid of that one in traffic. Latunji, Ziris, he skips inside. Back to Latunji. Latunji, a long 3-pointer. That one's no good. And it bounces around. Long rebound, won by Mick.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Cartalis to keep that one alive.
Dolphins with their 3rd offensive board. This is Velasquez attacking the basket. Short jumper 3 feet away, no good. Ziris with the offensive board. This is Cartalis for 3.
So it took 3 attempts, but the Dolphins get the basket and open their lead back up to 4.
Yeah, it's hard when you give the home team 3 opportunities to score. Dolphins made it hurt with a 3-pointer. They grow their lead back up to 4. Feng to Carroll. Look for inside. Pass was broken up by Latunji and collected by Ziris. This is Cartalis the other way. He wants help. Finds Ziris. Sidesteps Carroll. Off the glass. No good, but he was fouled.
Nice move to the basket that time by Ziris. He couldn't complete the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
And Ziris will get to the line. He's 12 of 23. Just 52% as you get another look at Cartalis's buried 3-pointer. Left-handed free throw for Ziris is no good. And the Dolphins are now 1 of 4 from the free throw line here, 7.5 minutes in.
You know, you mentioned, Dave, Dolphins shooting just 60% coming into the game here from the line.
Yeah, sometimes it's been their best friend, sometimes it's been their worst enemy. Ziris splits the pair, and Dolphins lead is back up to 5. Both teams have relented a little bit from the press. Dolphins go in their 2-3 zone. Orlando Ashford had come into the game for Curry, and offensive foul. Basket was no good by Ashley, but Ashley picks up the offensive foul. That'll count as a turnover as well.
Yeah, Ashley kind of just put his head down and plowed over the Dolphin defender, so he picks up his first personal, and the Dolphins with the basketball.
Christian Kopech is into the game for the Dolphins. He's missed 6 games due to injury. Ziris' shot was blocked, but there to clean up the mess was Adeola Latunji.
Yeah, that time Ziris dribbled all the way in from the midcourt line, Dave. His shot was blocked, but Latunji heads up play to lay it in. He's got 10.
So now Curry dealing with the CSI zone. This is Feng. Skips it over. This is a baseline 3 attempt. No good. Missing it was Cecil Vila. And with a stoppage of play inside of 12 minutes, we will have another media timeout. So Mike and I will step aside when we come back. More CSI men's basketball action. It's the Dolphins 20 and the Colonels 13. Stay with us.
Hobra, a taco joint. Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're back here. Curry ready to inbound. Just under 12 minutes to play in the first half. A quick moving first half. An exciting one here as Feng controls. He bounce passes it over to Stewart. Stewart back around the horn. Ashford got it back. Stewart, Ashford, back to Stewart. They play around the arc. Stewart in trouble. Has to backpedal. Now front pedals. This is Feng. Feng dropped inside. Pass broken up by Latunji and stolen by the Dolphins. Christian Kopech controls. Drop pass to Latunji off his hip and out of play.
So the Colonels commit their 7th turnover, but the Dolphins commit their 5th, so the teams will exchange turnovers, and it'll be Colonel basketball.
R.J. Hadfield checks in for Curry. He replaces Feng. I misspoke and said that Feng usually does most of his damage off the bench. This is the first game he didn't start. Feng came off the bench in this one and finds himself back on it. Now the dribble here by Vila. Vila losing it and picked up by Ziris. Another turnover for Curry. That's their 8th. Latunji finds Velasquez. Velasquez unleashes for 3.
Boy, he's really showing more and more confidence on the offensive end is Velasquez as he gets his first basket of the evening.
No hesitation. Dolphins work their lead back up to 10. And response with a 3 by Damian Stewart. Nice job by Stewart. And the Dolphins want to talk it over here. TJ Tibbs not happy defensively.
They show that Velasquez three-pointer on that last replay.
Yeah, we'll take a we'll keep it right here. It's a 30-second timeout, Mike. And we should mention that the crowd here has really swelled. Huge crowd behind us. And over behind the Dolphins bench, Mike, a lot of the family members of the Hannafins and the Davidsons especially, as we get another look at the Damian Stewart 3. So nice to see the families here involved, Mike, and a great crowd during a kind of a quiet period in the semester. Finals are over. Most of the students are on their holiday breaks. Still the community at Staten Island embracing this event and coming out in strong support.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A big crowd here at the Tank. Dolphins find themselves with a 7-point lead, but 6 turnovers, Dave, in less than 10 minutes of basketball.
Just moments ago, the Dolphins had their biggest lead, 10 points. It was cut by a Stewart three-pointer. This is Destim. Sidesteps, drops inside of Cartalis. Nice pass by Destim and a great finish by Andrew.
Beautiful play by Rigo as he picks up his first assist of the night. Cartalis with 6.
Dolphins up by 9. And here's a long three-point attempt, and that's a swish by Ashford.
5 of 10 for the Colonels from the three-point line, keeping them in the game. They're down by 6.
Yeah, Colonel shooting better from beyond the arc than inside of it. Cross-court pass to Kopech. He drives baseline, puts one up. He was fouled. Christian Kopech, Mike, I mentioned it briefly, missed 6 games due to injury. He got hurt in that Florida trip that the Dolphins took, and right at the very end, it was like the last couple of seconds of that game. Dolphins are happy to get him back. He's a senior on this team. Ziris inside off the inbounds give by Destim, and the Dolphins back up by 8.
Ziris with 5 points on 2 of 4 shooting here in this first half.
Now Ashford gives over to Stewart. Stewart, the drop pass. Thorpe Johnson, he's in the paint, gives it back to Stewart. Left open for 3, and he nails it.
And the Dolphins got to do a better job from the three-point line, Dave. Entirely too many wide-open looks, and you see the Colonels like to shoot it.
Yeah, Stewart 4 of 5 from three-point range. Latunji off the glass and in, and the foul.
Beautiful move by Latunji. He now has 12 points on the evening as the Dolphins open their lead back up to 7.
Mike, on the other side, Stewart, 31% three-point shooter, is now 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. You've got the second look at Latunji's layup, looking to complete the three-point play the other way. He does. So the Dolphins answer a three with a three the hard way.
Curry coming in shooting 32% from the three-point line, 55% so far here tonight.
Yeah, 50% overall. The Dolphins are shooting 63% from the floor, 12 of 19. Michael Ashley giving it over to Hatfield, who had checked in on the media timeout. Ashford, back up top. Thorpe Johnson, underhanded layup. Nice move against Latunji.
Yeah,
and he drops in the basket.
Sorry, Dave, that was a beautiful move by Thompson. He's averaging just under 20 points a game for the Colonels.
First points tonight, though. 2 points for him. Ziris inside, finds Cartalis, was a little bit out of position. Destime receives a lane. He goes in off the glass, no good. He was fouled. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, at first looked like Rigo was thinking of putting up that long jumper. Instead, he took the ball aggressively to the basket and was able to draw the foul. The Colonels with 6 fouls, and that's going to be the second foul on Michael Ashley.
Dolphins are 3 of 6 from the line. Curry hasn't been there yet. Lightning fast gameplay here. We're over 11 minutes in. And first free throw is good. Austin Mick will come back into the game to replace Cartalis. I believe we're going to get our first look from Luke Townsend for Curry. Townsend, a 6'1" freshman guard, so gets his first opportunity here. Destime splits the pair. Dolphins are 4 of 8 from the free throw line, but they're up by 7. Thorpe Johnson with a three. That one's no good. And the rebound was won by Kieran Carroll, and his pass was blocked out of bounds. 19 on the shot clock.
Both teams with 9 rebounds just past midway in the first half.
Stewart, unguarded on the baseline, is able to drop it into Hatfield. Stewart gets it back. This is Carroll on the interior. He spins in the lane. His short hook jumper, no good. Destime gets the rebound. Ziris had a lane. It quickly closed. Finds Mick up top. Around the horn, Kopech. Kopech drives, lost control, and it's taken over by Stewart. Stewart finding Thorpe Johnson, unimpeded to the goal. He nails it.
Yeah, so the Dolphins give off the basket off of the turnover, and Dolphins have turned the ball over a lot tonight, Dave. 7 times so far in the first half.
31-26. Now Mick unloads for 3. High arcing 3, no good. And the rebound won by Carroll. So now Carroll with 6 rebounds. Make that, 6 rebounds. Thorpe Johnson for 3. He misses. And here comes Mick the other way. 2 against 4. Mick decides to penetrate. Gets it over to Latunji. Off the glass and in.
15 points for Adiola now. Playing well. 7 of 9 from the field.
Yeah, Dolphins were outnumbered there. 2 against 4. Mick decided to still force that ball into Latunji, and he made it hurt. Carroll, top of the arc, gives over to the freshman Townsend. Around the horn, Stewart. The lanes depart. Stewart attacks and gets the layup to go.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Dave. The C's opened, and he was able to take the ball unimpeded to the basket. He's got 14 points for the Colonels.
Yeah, sensational start for him. Ziris off the glass and in. Up over Kieran Carroll. Dolphins back up by 7 now, 35-28. They're shooting 63.6%. Around the horn, Thorpe Johnson gets it back for 3. He can't hit one, and the Dolphins get the rebound. Thorpe Carroll now 0 for 5 from three-point range. Destime to Mick. Mick attacks. He travels.
So that'll be the 8th turnover for the Dolphins. Both teams with 8 turnovers, Dave.
So we are under 8 minutes, our first stoppage of play since then. So we'll have another media timeout. 6:35 to go, first half. Dolphins lead 35-28. Stay with us. You're watching 18th Annual Tournament of Heroes coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunity.
Welcome back here as we are back to live action. And Stewart controlling. His shot was blocked by Latunji. It went into Carroll. Carroll drew contact from Delahanty. I'm not sure this will be a shooting foul, but Delahanty will get called for his first. That's the Dolphins' first foul of the first half. We're 13:39 in.
And so Delahanty checks in and picks up a foul, so the Colonels will inbound.
Yeah, Delahanty had come into the game for the Dolphins along with Velasquez again. Townsend, the bounce pass over to Carroll. Carroll back to Townsend. He's left open for three, unleashes, and it's good. Luke Townsend with his first points of the first half. Cuts the Dolphins' lead to 4. Latunji to Ziris, back to Latunji. Looks inside. Delahanty. Drop pass, wide open Latunji.
Yeah, hard to imagine Latunji getting so wide open when he's already scored 15. He now has 17, and the Dolphins lead by 6.
He's averaging just under 21 a game, and he's on track for that and then some. This is Carroll for 3. That one's good.
Yeah, they're really staying in the game with the three-point shot, 8 of 16.
Inside give, Delahanty from Latunji. Dolphins continue the high-flying action here, and the red-hot shooting. The Dolphins 67% from the floor, 16 of 24. Carroll hands it right off to Sardegna. In the corner, Thorpe Johnson back up to Sardegna. He opts over to Stewart, who hasn't been able to take a shot from long range. He leaves Velasquez behind. His layup was no good, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry.
Whoa, I don't know about that one, Dave. And Stewart thought he was fouled and nothing called, but the Dolphins will take it, and it'll be their basketball.
Yep, and Dolphins get it back. Let's see if they can punish Curry for the miss. Latunji up top, almost intercepted by Stewart. Ziris, good look inside to Delahanty. He couldn't find the layup. Carroll gets the rebound, gives it up to Sardegna. Sardegna all the way in, off the glass, no good. Delahanty gets the rebound. This is Velasquez looking to his right, finds Mick in the corner. Thought about a 3, drops back instead to Latunji. Latunji works to his left, spot up, top of the arc, three-pointer, no good. And the rebound won by Townsend. Townsend hands right off to Stewart. And Stewart wants to slow things down. Curry down by 5. They've been down by as many as 10 in this first half, but they've been down the entire way. Sardegna, the bounce pass to Carroll. Looks inside to Townsend, back to Carroll. Carroll attacks inside, looking for contact, off the glass and in.
Wow, a lot of motion that time by Carroll before putting up the shot. And so now a three-point game.
Dolphins lead cut to 3, 39-36. Delahanty to Latunji. Latunji, inside give to Ziris. Sheds one defender, and his heel was on the baseline. That's a turnover. We're under 4 minutes to go. Nick, let's keep it right here. It's been such a quick-moving first half. Mike, might as well talk about it a little bit. The Dolphins here with under 4 minutes to go. They've led by as many as 10. Mike, give Curry credit. Despite some sloppy play offensively, they've been able to hang in and cut this lead down.
Well, 8 3-pointers, Dave, and, just over 17 minutes of basketball. Shooting 50% from the three-point line has really kept them in the game. Is you have another opportunity to see a Colonel three-pointer, and, that's really what's allowed them to keep in the game. The rebounds are pretty even 14-13, the Dolphins lead by 1. Dolphins have turned the ball over 9 times compared to 8 times by the Colonels, but it's really been the three-point shooting from Curry that has made this a three-point game.
Yeah, and for the Dolphins, it's been Adeola Latunji, 8 of 11 from the floor. He's taken 11 of the Dolphins' 26 shots, and the Dolphins shooting 62% from the floor. Latunji with 17 points. While we have a quick break in the action, want to say hello to my wife at home, Jennifer Pizzuto, who is listening in along with the fam at home. Those people, Mike, who couldn't make it to the game, obviously listening to us. We got a good viewership online as well from our visiting team here at Curry, so we want to welcome in all their fans as well to CSI Sportsnet and our continuing coverage, which will continue, Mike, tomorrow afternoon as well.
Yeah, big championship game tomorrow, and we're going to see who's going to face the Lions from Wheaton.
Yep, consolation game at 1 p.m. tomorrow, championship at 3 p.m. as we have a foul whistled against Joe Ziris. Until he graduates, I'm going to call him Jay Ziris, Mike. Obviously, Jay Ziris, a former CSI Dolphin, great 4-year standout player, and we get Joseph now, part of the family, joining us as well.
Yeah, so second team foul for the Dolphins, as that should be an offensive foul, and it will be.
Yeah, Carroll got the space via the push. So both teams swap fouls. Dolphins get the ball back here up by 3. Ziris, who's been active, in the corner finds Cartalis. Bounce pass on the baseline to Latunji. His pass was broken up originally, but out of bounds was Stewart when he touched the ball. Dolphins will still have possession with 16 on the shot clock. Velasquez up top to Mick. Mick to Latunji, back over to Velasquez. Puts up a 3, it's short, and Latunji had a chance at the rebound, kind of surprised him a little bit. Ball out of play, and Curry with another chance to potentially cut the lead or tie on this possession. Stewart to Townsend. Bounce pass, Carroll. He's hit a three-pointer as well. He's been given space. He gives it over to Sardegna. Sardegna around the horn. Stewart 4 or 5 from beyond the arc. Instead, he drives in. Interfered with. Looked like Velasquez got a piece of that shot. Won by Mick to Cartalis. Boom! Inside, Latunji throws it down.
Beautiful play that time by the Dolphins, ending up with the Latunji jam.
Austin Mick with that first look to Cartalis, and then Cartalis with the underhanded pass to Latunji. And on the sideline was Townsend's heel, and Curry gives it up again. That's their 10th. Get another look at this one.
Yeah, that's a replay you really like seeing. Great job by Nick Durst to bring it to you. Is Latunji jams it home, 19 Fadiola here in the first half.
Austin Mick now with the Dolphins up by 5, looking to add to their lead. It was as many as 10 in this half as we approach the 2-minute mark. Latunji on the baseline, trapped there, gives it over to Cartalis. Cartalis up top to Mick. Mick starts to drive in, gains the paint, and it's fumbled there by Ziris, and another turnover for the Dolphins. That's their 10th.
Both teams with 10 here with 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Yeah, that's the only saving grace, is that both teams have had an equal number of turnovers. Otherwise, that number is pretty high here in the first half. This is Stewart now. His shot was blocked by Velasquez on the three-point play. Latunji the other way. Velasquez in the corner. Driving baseline. Drop off to Ziris, and he is stripped and out of bounds.
Yeah, nice play by Velasquez, taking the ball to the middle and feeding it to Ziris, but the ball knocked out of bounds. 23 to shoot for the Dolphins.
At halftime, we will be joined by CSI head coach TJ Tibbs. So stay tuned for that one. Velasquez in the corner finds Latunji. Open Cartalis. He fires for 3, no good. Missed it over the rim, and Feng gets the rebound.
Dolphins 3 of 10 from the three-point line.
This is Feng now dribbling left. Finds Sardegna, Stewart. Thorpe Johnson up top to Carroll. Carroll swims inside, puts one up off the glass. It's in, and the foul. Ziris can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Dave, but Carroll able to hop, skip into the outside of the lane and lay it up get the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line. He could make it a 2-point game, Dave.
Yeah, it'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. It was called by Curry College. Remember, when we use our media systems, if you lose a timeout if you don't take one in the first half. So Curry recognizing this as an opportunity, as Mike said, to cut this lead back down to 2 as you get another look at that two-handed jam from Latunji.
Dolphins, Dave, with 14 assists on 17 baskets. Just 8 assists on 15 baskets for Curry. But, we mentioned before, Curry very effectively using their three-point shots, as they have 8 of them here in the first half compared to just 3 for the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins are shooting 59% from the floor. But, Mike, if you take out the three-point shooting, which Dolphins are 3 of 10, the Dolphins are 14 of 19 from the floor. That's an astronomical number, as Carroll cannot complete the three-point play. And as we approach 1 minute to go in the first half, the Dolphins secure their three-point lead.
Carroll just a 53% shooter, Dave.
Now Mick for 3, no good. Dolphins 3 of 11 from the three-point line. This is Feng now, as his coach wants him to slow things down. Gets it over to Stewart. Stewart started off red hot. He's since cooled a little bit. Sardegna gains the paint. Tries to get a pass over. That was interfered with. Last touch by Curry, out of bounds. And with 41.4 to go, Dolphins with another chance to grow the lead as Destine comes back in the game.
Yeah, Rigo's been very quiet so far here tonight, Dave, for the Dolphins. Just 1 point for Rigo.
This is Mick now. He puts one up for 3, a long arcing one.
He hit his first one, missed 3 in a row, but drills that one, Dave. He now has 6.
Those threes go so sky high, Mike. They kind of trouble you when they're unleashed, but that's a beautiful three-pointer there by Mick. 2.5-second differential between game and shot. Great defense by Cartalis on Sardegna. He's got to get rid of it. He does to Stewart. Under 10 seconds to play, and there Destine gets his hand on it. So 5 on the shot clock, 8.7 to go. You look at that long arcing 3, went right out of your screen. The three-pointer by Mick. Stewart to Carroll. Inside, intercepted almost by Destine. Going down to play instead. 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Probably the strongest defensive sequence for the Dolphins here, Dave. Let's see if they can close it out with 2 on the shot clock.
Big possession here. Up top, Thorpe Johnson needs to put it up. He does. Misses it. Shot clock violation. 1.6 to go. That clock stopped. Might want to get a replay, Nick, in case the officials ask. I think about a good second came off the clock. They can review this, so we might have a instant replay review. I'm sure they're going to make the call on the court. They're going to put 2-point-something left.
Yeah,
we could see. Yeah, it was 2.6.
Yeah, 2.5, 2.6
They
it
put
should be.
2.1. They should have went to replay. They don't know who they got on as an engineer tonight. Durst all over it. Best one we've got, Mike.
Know it.
So the Dolphins here. Austin Mick, three-quarter shot. He went down hard, missed it, but the Dolphins will take a 6-point lead into the locker room, and we're going to get a chance to listen to T.J. Tibbs' impression of the first half of play. All right, TJ, thanks for joining us here at the half. Up by as many as 10 in the first half, take a 6-point lead into the locker room. What are some good signs your team has shown here in the first half?
Playing a couple of different defenses. So we didn't really guard that well, but that had a lot to do with what they're doing. We bounced back a little bit when they made a run. We did jump on them early, but we got to do a little bit better job of just keeping guys in front, just communicating, and then on offense continuing to pound the ball inside.
You know, TJ, Curry shooting 8 of 17 from the three-point line, shooting very effectively. What do you do to combat that in the second half?
I just guard somebody. I mean, they're really great shooters. They take 29 threes a game. We knew what it was coming in. They came in, and they're banging out shots. We also got to give a little bit more of a contest on these shots. I feel like a lot of these shots are open, especially for number one, and he just came off a game where he hit a bunch of threes. So we got to do a better job of understanding who's shooting shots from where and just clean it up a little bit.
TJ, I know you don't have a lot of time, but tell me a little bit about the focus of tonight. I know you had a long talk with the team during the shoot-around about the significance of a night like this. Great to see the Staten Island community come out. How does it make you feel to get that
Ed,
kind of,
I mean, and you know, because you have a huge part in this being this 18th year, and it's just an incredible 2 days. We can't make up for anything that's happened in the past, but what we do as a program, as an athletic department, to recognize the 3 young men that played in this program like I did, and to see the families come back, it's just an amazing time. I've said this publicly, and I always say this, it's the 2 most important days in our program every single year. We want to win the basketball games, but obviously with the type of teams, the talent we bring in, it's always tough year in and year out. And for us to always, as New Yorkers, kind of take a piece and remember what happened in September 11th. A lot of my guys, I'm speaking to them like a historian because they were all born, but they have no idea what happened. So giving them a little piece of my story and my day, what it was like when I was in the 8th grade, and it's just an incredible time. Everybody here does a phenomenal job and recognizing this importance. The teams all being here in the crowd, it just means so much. Like saying, I'm an alum for this program, and God forbid if anything would have happened to me, I would feel very comfortable that people would be taking care of my family, keeping my name alive, and that's exactly what we're always going to do for those 3 young men and their families.
Well, very well said, TJ. It's been an exciting first 20 minutes. We look forward to a great second half.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. CSI head coach TJ Tibbs, nice enough to join us here on the broadcast. The Dolphins have led wire to wire so far. They take a 6-point lead into the locker room, Mike.
Yeah, and the one thing you can always say about TJ, it doesn't matter whether the team is up or down. He always comes over and he's always ready to discuss what's going on and, give you an honest appraisal of what he sees. And, for the second half, he's going to want them to defend the 3-point shot a little bit better.
Absolutely. So that's a good chance for us to step aside. We'll get those statistics. We'll figure out what the Dolphins and the Colonels need to do in the second half to get themselves a win at the end of this one. We're at halftime here from the 18th annual CSI Tournament of Heroes at Staten Island 44 and Curry 38. Stay with us. You're watching Tournament of Heroes coverage right here only on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
The first all-time meeting between CSI and Curry College right now, the first half belonging to the College of Staten Island. They've led from the very first few seconds, led by as many as 10. They take a 6-point lead into the locker room. Mike, the Dolphins did a lot of things well, especially their shooting. We'll get you their numbers in a couple of moments on screen. Hard to sustain the kind of shooting that the Dolphins had in the first half, but certainly a very encouraging start in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's no doubt, Dave. The Dolphins scored the first 8 points of the game. They've never trailed in this one, and, they were able to score the last bucket of this first half and go into halftime with a 6-point lead. And, the Dolphins started out well offensively, but so did Curry. Curry started out hitting 8 of 16 from the three-point line, 50% before missing their last one. So both teams shooting a little bit above their norms in that first half. It'll be very interesting to see what happens here in the second half. And, the key to the Dolphins, Dave, as it usually is, it's going to be on the defensive side. Will they shut down the three-point shooting and, continue to do a nice job rebounding the basketball? They're actually out-rebounding Curry 18-16 and maybe try to clean up a couple of the turnovers as they go into halftime with 10.
Yeah, and you can see if not for the really good three-point shooting for Curry, this lead probably could be more for the Dolphins, especially, when you shoot 58%, you expect to be up by a pretty healthy number, Mike. The Dolphins, 14 of 19 from everything inside of the arc. They've struggled a little bit from beyond the arc, whereas Curry shooting on 47% from downtown, and over half of their shots have been from beyond the arc. So they're getting help from there as well. You'd have to think over the course of a 40-minute contest, those numbers can't really sustain. So as you mentioned, Mike, defense will really be the factor here in half number 2. Either way, I think both teams can feel comfortable that they're still very much in this game, and a win at the end of these next 20 minutes is probably going to be based on which team plays the better 20.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it, Dave. And, the Dolphins moving the ball around very effectively in the first half. 14 assists on their 18 baskets, so that's an extremely high ratio. And, Curry moving the basketball as well. 8 assists on their 15 baskets. And, both teams really doing a nice job. And, again, I think in the second half it's going to come out to the team that can play better defense, force more turnovers, and, get the ball into the basket. It's tough to make a living with outside shooting, and Curry did a nice job of it in the first half. We'll see what they can do in half number 2.
Yeah, and as we're just seconds away from the start of the second half, it's great to see a lot of CSI familiar faces in the crowd. It's really across from us, the part of the crowd that you don't see. But I see recent graduates, Mike, Matt Van Manen. I saw Michael Tate in the crowd. I see former women's basketball player Danielle McLaughlin. I see Bill Felsey, Brian Namarato, Aaron Goldstein. From a little bit further back in Dolphins history, there are members. Eden Brocic is here. I see members of the Hannafin family and the Davidson family, the Albano family. We know Champ Albano played basketball here, J.C. Albano, Leah Albano, and their family is here as well. Just really heartwarming to see some great faces here in the crowd. And I know we have a lot of Curry fans tuning in that have no idea who we're talking about, Mike. But, considering we're on holiday break and school's not in session yet, we've got a great crowd here on hand for a wonderful cause to remember those who passed on 9/11. The Dolphins have the first possession of the second half. Destime gets it over to Cartalis. Dolphins with their same starting lineup, how they started in the first half. Ziris with the backdoor pass, and he's able to connect on the layup.
Beautiful patience that time by Rigo. He drew 2 plays to him and fed it to the wide-open Ziris.
And Curry, too, starting with their starting lineup from the first half as well. Sardegna over to Stewart, who started out blazing hot for Curry, and now falling and traveling on the play is Michael Ashley. Didn't play much after getting the start in the first half. Just 6 minutes logged for Ashley, looking for his first points. And 42 seconds in, the Dolphins are up by 8, looking to extend. At one time, the score was 39-36. So the Dolphins on a 7-2 run since that point in the first half. Latunji back over to Destine. Mick, Kartalis, Ziris. Back up top, Destine. Interfered with it first, now drives into the lane. His shot was blocked emphatically, kept in play, but collected by Latunji. Goes inside, layup no good, but he was fouled. And Latunji, who's 1 for 1 from the free throw line, will get 2 attempts.
Yeah, that time Latunji able to grab the ball on the tip back and drive it to the basket. And, that's the second time in 3 possessions, Dave, for the Dolphins that Curry's got a hand on the basketball, but the Dolphins able to maintain possession.
So Latunji now 2 for 2 from the line and 19 points on the game, just 1.5 points under his average for the season. We think he'll get to that as he nails the second. He now has 20, and the Dolphins are back up by double digits, 48-38. And they have scored the first 4 points of half number 2. Ashley, now the inside give, underneath, and getting fouled on the play was Ashley, who now has a chance to pick up his first points of the game. He's 0 for 2 from the floor, and Curry with only 1 free throw in the first half. They were 0 for 1. It was a 3-point play that Carroll missed on.
Ashley is 69% shooter from the free throw line, hits the first.
Yeah, first one is good. First points of the game for Ashley, who got the start tonight. Cuts the Dolphins' lead to 9. Second free throw, no good. Bounces around, but Latunji gets the rebound. That's rebound number 7 for him. Inside give to Kartalis. He had space, and he gets the layup off the glass and in.
Yeah, that time Curry a step or 2 slow getting back on defense as the Dolphins have their biggest lead. It's 11.
And Kartalis now up to 8 points on the evening. This is Carroll. Turns towards the basket. Gives off to Stewart. Stewart backpedals, now dribbles, looking for help. Stops his dribble. Gives over to Sardegna. The handoff to Ashley. Now to Stewart. Stewart drives inside, and he is stripped by Kartalis. Here come the Dolphins the other way, 3-on-2. Kartalis, he traveled.
Yeah, that time the Dolphins got a little out of sync on the fast break, Dave, as you have an opportunity to see Kartalis' last basket and cost him a turnover, so it will be Colonel basketball. I think we might have a little wet spot out on the floor, Dave.
Yep, and Dolphins will get to it here as that last exchange spilled some players. Dolphins back up by 11. Yeah, Kartalis might have gotten a little bit bumped on the other side and kind of skipped a beat a little bit. Guilty of the turnover. The Dolphins now with 10 turnovers, although should have 11 now. Thought they had 10 at the half.
Dolphins outscoring Curry 6-1 in the first 2 minutes of half number 2.
Turnovers are 13-11. Curry with the 13, and now off the glass, Carroll gets one. Sharp angle shot. Dips the lead back into single digits. Mick, Destine, corner Latunji. Driving baseline, lost it on the baseline. So Latunji guilty of the turnover. It's his first turnover of the game.
Dolphins have now turned it over twice, Dave, here in the second half.
Yeah, you see the turnovers on your screen. Curry just one ahead now of CSI, but both teams guilty of being a little bit careless with the basketball tonight. Carroll gave off to Sardegna. Sardegna driving baseline. Finds a wide open Thorpe Johnson for 3, and he buries it. He's been waiting for that one, Mike. He was 0 for 5 before that one.
Yeah, so here in the second half, Curry hits their first three-point attempt. It's a 6-point game.
Yeah, it's been the three that has really kept them involved here in this one. Cartalis gets to that loose ball, almost another turnover. Latunji, turnaround jumper from the free throw line, and that one's good.
Dolphins fortunate not to turn it over. Latunji converts it into a basket.
Adeola Latunji now up over his average. He's got 23 now on 10 of 13 shooting. Thorpe Johnson gives it over to Carroll. Carroll, familiar look, turns around, and we have a holding foul on the Dolphins. Looks like it might be against Ziris. Actually, no, it'll be on Mick. So we get another look there at the turnaround jumper from Latunji.
Yeah, nice shooting touch by Adeola, kissing it off the front rim.
Latunji with 13 of the Dolphins' 35 shots. There's a turnaround in the lane. That one's blocked by Ziris. His 22nd block of the season. That leads all Dolphins. Desteem now is given a lot of space. He decides to jump in. Cartalis now for three-point range.
Big three-pointer for Andrew. His second basket of the second half. He's got 11.
Yep, second Dolphin in double digits tonight. And that one, again, all sprung by that block from Ziris the other way. Cross-court pass. This is Thorpe Johnson. Top of the arc three. That one's good.
Yeah, Dolphins not defending the three, and Curry making them pay.
Curry 10 of 19 from three-point range, over 50%. This is Mick. And this is Mick now for three, and that one's good.
Yeah, so the teams trade three-pointers, and the Dolphins open their lead back to 11.
Dolphins now 6 of 14 from three-point range. Long-range show here. Thorpe Johnson again for three, no good. He missed that one. Just a bit to the side of the arc, and interfering on the rebound attempt was Ashley, and he's going to get called for the foul. We get another look at that block from Ziris. Nice job. And then going across and nailing a three the other way were the Dolphins. This is Cartalis. We'll keep it right here, Mike, as we have a media timeout here. A quick moving second half, much like the first half, Mike. The Dolphins, again, guilty of giving up the ball in some stretches, but it was Curry not being able to take advantage, and CSI back up by 11 as we make sure to remind you that summer courses are now open for registration at the College of Staten Island. You can beat the rush, register today. Both CSI students as well as all New York City residents can take advantage of the value of a CUNY class at the College of Staten Island. Register now at www.csi.cuny.edu/summer. Mike, we're in the middle of winter, but it is time to start thinking about some summer courses.
There's no doubt about it, David. I want to point out that all New York State residents pay the same residency rate, so it's you don't only have to be a resident of the city to take advantage of CUNY resident rates. And we mentioned earlier in game number one, but, you know, for those of you listening up in Massachusetts or Virginia or wherever you might be listening to our worldwide broadcast on CSI Sportsnet tonight, come to classes here at CSI in the summer and take advantage of all the city has to offer.
Very well said, Mike. Dropping the knowledge on us. We get another look at Austin Mick's three-pointer. But it's a really key moment in the game, Mike. You know, we're only about 5 minutes into the second half, but again, it's that, you know, Curry's being kept involved with the three-pointer, but the Dolphins have possession with the basketball. They have already their biggest lead, 11, a chance to grow that now.
Yeah, let's see what they can do.
And CSI with possession now. This is Mick. Mick sidesteps one defender, gets it to the lane, turnaround off the glass, no good. And the rebound won by Curry. Sardegna with a nice board. Here comes Sardegna being ridden on by Desteem. Sardegna driving baseline, drops off to Ashley, and his layup is good.
Yeah, that was a nice counterattack that time by Curry. Dolphins had an opportunity to make it 13, 4-point swing. It's a 9-point game.
Colonel Sting very much involved. Desteem now to Mick. Mick once again driving towards the free throw line, gives over to Latunji. Mick, wide open three-pointer, no good. Missed it a little too strong that time. Ashley gives way to Stewart. Stewart now, golden opportunity here to get the Colonels back further. Carroll drives in the lane, puts one up, short baby hook inside the paint. That one's good, and the lead is a 7.
Yeah, you can see why he averages 19 a game. He's got 15. Nice, strong move to the basket that time by Carroll.
This is Desteem now. Gets into the paint. Short jumper in the lane. That one's good.
Yeah, and that's Rigo's first basket of the game, Dave. It's hard to believe, and that makes it a 9-point game.
Yeah, very quiet day for Destine. That was only his third field goal attempt. He's got 3 points. Stewart now looking inside of Carroll, and that pass errant goes out of play. Dolphins will get the benefit of the turnover as Velasquez will come back into the game for CSI, replacing Cartalis. Check that. That'll be Destine coming out.
That was the 14th turnover for Curry in the game.
Dolphins now holding. Cartalis now with possession. Cartalis was looking inside. Now instead gets his dribble going. Still looking inside. Can't find Latunji. Dolphins working now to Ziris. Ziris backpedaling. He fronts. Gets stonewalled by Carroll. Finds Latunji at the elbow, and that jumper is good.
Latunji on fire, Dave. 11 of 14, 25 points.
Yeah, he has been red hot all game long, inside and out. And actually, Mike, if you take away his three-point attempts, he's 11 of 12 from the field. Some long two-pointers involved in there as well. Sardegna now. He drives, finds the baseline, kicks it out to Stewart. Stewart unleashes. Straightaway three-pointer, no good. And Cartalis gets the rebound.
Nice job by Cartalis defending the weak side glass for the Dolphins.
Dolphins lead once again, back up to 11, looking to grow it. Mick inside, off the glass and in.
Boy, that's a difference in Austin Mick Day between this year and last year. That's the second time. The last 3 times he's touched the ball, he took the ball strong to the basket. That time rewarded with the bucket.
And Mick becomes CSI's third double-digit scorer. He's got 11. Ashley now working it to his left. Now turns, finds Carroll now. Top of the arc, gives over to Stewart. Dolphins really ramping up the defensive pressure. Stewart drives, finds an open Ashley. That's a long two-pointer. No good. Carroll with a great offensive board. And the putback is good.
Beautiful weak side rebound over 2 Dolphin defenders by Carroll that time to make it an 11-point game.
Carroll has now been the answer every time Curry has needed a big basket. Drops the lead back down to 11. Dolphins here with possession. This is Mick Cartalis in front of his own bench. Drops off inside to Ziris. Ziris backing up Carroll. He turns around. His shot was partially blocked by Carroll, and then out of bounds was Latunji when he stripped that ball away. We're inside of 12 minutes to play. We're going to step aside. It's a media timeout after this highlight by Austin Mick. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet. Stay with us.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We are back here to live action. CSI has led from the opening moments of the game until now. This is their biggest lead. It's 11 points as you get to see Adeola Latunji's burying a jumper from the elbow. He's got 25 points to lead all scorers in the game. Kieran Carroll for Curry is up to 20 points, and he's got 12 rebounds for a double-double, so he's been having quite the evening.
Dave, Dolphins over 60% from the field here tonight.
And they've up their three-point shooting now up to 40%. And this is Thorpe Johnson for 3. That one's no good off the side of the rim. Curry 10 of 23 from three-point range, 44%. Mick decides to stop his dribble and backpedal a little bit. Mick now front pedals into the lane, finds Cartalis open for 3. No good, it's in and out. And Carroll gets the rebound. Rebound number 13 for Kieran. And now inside, this is Stewart, blocked by Ziris. but the rebound goes to Carroll. Sardegna now drives baseline. Opts out to Stewart. Stewart to Feng. Feng has been very quiet here this evening. Carroll, top of the arc, finds Feng. Left open for three. Drives baseline instead. It drops off inside. Thorpe Johnson rattles around. No good. Tough break for Thorpe Johnson. Unfriendly rim. Rebound was won by Ziris. He hands off to Latunji. Latunji gets into the baseline. Finds Velasquez in the corner for three. No good. And Ziris gets the rebound. This is Latunji sliding all the way inside. Layup no good, but the foul called. Latunji makes so much ground, Mike, in just a couple of steps. Very hard to keep up with.
Yeah, he's very quick, Dave, and, you know, you have to honor the outside shot with him, so you got to step out towards him, and when you step out, he steps by, and that's what he was able to do there, and he'll go to the free throw line looking to build on his game-high 25 points.
Yeah, so Latunji 3 for 3 from the line tonight, part of his 25 points. He's makes 4 of 4 now. And Townsend has come back into the game for Curry.
Should mention, Dave, the Dolphins with 20 assists on their 26 baskets here tonight.
Yeah, that's coming up near tournament records. We'll get to that in a few moments. Stewart now with the Dolphins tying their biggest lead of the game, 13 points. Big moment in the game here. This is Feng for three. No good. Missed it a little long. The ball goes out of play. Last touched by Curry.
Yeah, the high in assists, Dave, 28 for the Dolphins against Dallas back in 2010.
Yep. And for Latunji, I was just busy looking up his career high because we're getting to that point. Career high 33. That was set this year. Latunji with a rare miss. Gets his own rebound. Slides inside. No good. And it was Carroll with the rebound that time. Tough break that time for Latunji. Thorpe Johnson inside. He's fouled by Ziris.
Yeah, big turnaround there. The Dolphins could have opened it up by 15. Instead, it'll be Curry going to the line for shots as Ziris picks up his second, the team's third.
And so now Thorpe Carroll will go to the line. This is his first trip. Thorpe Johnson will go to the line. It's his first trip from the free throw line. Curry as a team just 1 of 3 from the line tonight. They haven't had a lot of opportunities here. Dolphins are 8 of 12 from the free throw line. 2 shots no matter what here for Thorpe Johnson. 6'3" senior buries the first, cuts the lead to 12. You know, Curry, for what it's worth, has been hanging in. I mean, granted, they were down by 6 at the half, and the Dolphins have doubled that lead, but they're not. Dolphins haven't quite put away the Colonels here, and they continue to stay involved. Dolphins up by 11. Velasquez to Ziris, to Cartalis. They work it around the horn. This is Mick. Mick, fronted by Stewart, drops over to Velasquez. Gets it over to Latunji. Back to Velasquez. Sees the lane inside. Hits it, goes up strong, and Thorpe Johnson going to get called for the foul. And that will send Velasquez to the free throw line for the first time.
Yeah, and Chris has been struggling a little bit today, Dave. Just 1 of 4 from the field, but again, you can see the increased confidence that he's playing with, especially from last year, where he's willing to take the ball aggressively to the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
64% free throw shooter is Velasquez. He makes the first. And coming back into the game will be R.J. Hadfield. He replaces Feng for Curry. Feng this season came in averaging 6.4 points, but he's been really quiet tonight. And second free throw by Velasquez is good. So the Dolphins now 10 of 14 from the line. They've worked their free throw shooting back up over 70%. Townsend now shedding Cartalis, looking to get inside. He lost control, and finally Cartalis gets to it. Another turnover for Curry. Dolphins 3-on-3 the other way. The drop off to Latunji. He lost it between his legs, and Townsend takes over. Townsend looking for some help. Great bounce pass inside to Stewart. He's fouled.
Yeah, so a couple of times, Dave, the Dolphins had possession of the basketball with an opportunity to make it a 15-point game. They've been unable to do so, and now Curry will go back to the line for free throws.
And Stewart has been very quiet since the midway portion of the first half. He's got 14 points, couple steals. First free throw, no good. It's the first trip to the line. James Delahanty has checked back in for the Dolphins. He's been used very sparingly here tonight, just 3 minutes.
Yeah, TJ's only played 8 plays all game, Dave, and just 6 of them have more than 10 minutes here tonight.
Yep, and the second of 2 free throws is good for Stewart, so he makes 1 of 2, cuts the Dolphins' lead to 12. Yeah, Kopech has gotten 6 minutes, Delahanty with 3. Other than that, it's only been Velasquez coming off the bench. He's got 14 minutes of action. Latunji sidesteps Carroll, looking corner to Velasquez. He drives baseline, drops off inside. Delahanty wasn't expecting the pass. That's a turnover for the Dolphins, number 14 for them.
Yeah, and it's been Curry that's tightened up their defense on the last couple of Dolphin possessions, and they made it a 12-point game, and now they have the basketball.
Haven't heard a lot from this young man, Kieran Carroll, offensively. He's 9 of 10 from the floor. Hasn't taken a shot in a while. Townsend, Stewart. Thorpe Johnson wanted it, didn't get it. Carroll gets it instead, gets it back, just inside the three-point arc, and he buries another one.
Yeah, he was wide open on that one, Dave. Delahanty had dropped back, and nobody defended him. He now has 19.
Yeah, he's got 22, actually. We're going to have a whistle here. I didn't catch it, Mike.
I guess it's going to be a technical foul on the head coach, Joe Busaka of Curry College. And
yeah, it happened away from the play.
He was fortunate that his assistant pulled him back because he got very upset with the call as Latunji misses the first. And all of a sudden, Dave, the Dolphins have quieted down a little bit offensively.
Yeah, and Latunji missing the unimpeded free throw attempt. He makes the second one, so now he's 6 of 7 from the line. Yeah, it must have been something verbal, Mike, because Kieran Carroll came off of making the long-range 2, and maybe that was the question about whether that should have been a 3. I thought he definitely was inside the arc.
So do I, Dave.
But we have no idea what happened. The Dolphins have a potential now to make this a 3 or 4 point play. And now we have a foul whistled on Stewart. And Velasquez with a little bit of a nudge on Stewart. So now things getting a little bit chippy here between both sides. And Stewart didn't like the call.
Sorry, Dave, with his 29 points, Adeola Latunji is now tied for 6th all-time in scoring in the Tournament of Heroes Championship.
This is Mick now. Gets it over to Latunji. Has missed his last 3 shots. Latunji now spins in off the glass, too strong, and he missed that one. Thorpe Johnson the other way. Curry wants to work quickly over Delahanty, and that layup is good. And the lead is back down to 8. Well, the Dolphins now guilty of surrendering a 7-2 run. Desteem's getting set to come back into the game. Now big chance of defense coming up from the crowd. Lots of Curry fans in attendance. Turnaround jumper for Latunji. That one's good.
Yeah, Latunji showing the confidence to stick with his shot. He now has 31 on the afternoon, and that's going to now bring him up tied for 3rd place in the individual single-game scoring records of the Tournament of Heroes.
And with that, the Dolphins call the timeout. It becomes a full via the media timeout. So we'll step aside, take a break. 7:20 left. Dolphins lead by an even 10 points. Stay with us.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves.
Welcome back to live action here. The Dolphins up by 11, 71-60. It was a error with the scoreboard before, but it's been fixed. Dolphins interrupt that last pass attempt as Steam got in the way. Dolphins have led by as many as 13 in the game. Curry has dropped it down to 6 in this half on a couple of occasions. Just can't seem to crack that portion here as Sardegna has come back in replacing Townsend. 12 on the shot clock left for Curry. Sardegna gets it. He was left open for 3. Opts out. Goes inside instead. Off the glass. That's in and the foul. That's going to be called on Adeola Latunji. That'll be his first personal foul.
Yeah, that time Sardegna really just running across the lane. Thought he might have taken an extra step, but instead draws the foul and has an opportunity to complete the three-point play and make it an 8-point game.
Yeah, again, Curry just coming within distance here. They missed the extra point. Battle for the rebound, won by Carroll. Nice job over Velasquez. Carroll now inside, puts one up, no good. Delahanty gets the rebound, and we're going to have an inadvertent whistle as Velasquez, he went down hard, Mike, when he got locked up with Carroll. And it's kind of slow getting up and walking a little bit gingerly, and referees just wanted to make sure he's okay. He is.
I think TJ Tibbs felt there might have been an offensive foul on that last rebound attempt.
Yeah, we don't have him on camera, but he was pretty adamant about trying to get the officials' attention and set his piece as they came back up the floor, and we get set for live action. Latunji almost slipped and fell. His shot was blocked, and then off the fingertips of Delahanty, who tried to save it.
Yeah, that time Adeola forcing the action a little bit, Dave, against the double team as Delahanty will check out for the Dolphins and Ziris will check back in.
Yeah, so they call that just a simple miss by Latunji and a defensive rebound. I thought that pass might have gotten blocked. There's a three-pointer by Stewart, no good. That would have been a huge make. And out of bounds, last touch by Thorpe Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson disagreeing. He thought Ziris might have gotten it, but instead it'll be Dolphin basketball with a 9-point lead and looking to run a good offensive play here on this sequence.
Yeah, Dolphins have been stuck here at 71 for a little bit. Inside, Desteem had to recollect it after almost losing it, but the rebound was won by Carroll. Rebound number 17 for him. Sardegna pulls up at the elbow. That one's good. And a timeout called, full timeout called by Curry. So we're going to step aside, take a break. CSI's once 13-point lead, now down to 7. We'll take a timeout with 5:55 to go. The home stretch coming up next.
Is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-44.
We are back here to live action. You see the stop and jumper there by Sardegna, who has cut this lead down to 7 points. Dolphins haven't been able to slam the door on the Colonels, although they've led from wire to wire, and Curry refusing to go away and sensing a turning point. Curry head coach Joe Busaka quickly calling a timeout. Coach Busaka, a resident Staten Islander, and is in his second season here with the Colonels. Velasquez gives over to Latunji. He wants to drive baseline. He does. Finds Mick in the corner for three. No good. And Carroll with another rebound. That is number 18 for him.
He's now one behind Gary Blackett for the all-time Tournament of Heroes record in rebounds.
Nice record to have there. There's a three-point attempt and buried that time by Hatfield, who's been very quiet in this game. It's a 4-point game.
7-0 run for Curry.
Yeah, 7-0 run, and the Dolphins were up at one point, 68-53. So 14-3 run overall. Ziris cuts inside, off the glass. That one's in. Tough layup, left-handed by Ziris.
That was, and he's in double digits now with 11.
The fourth Dolphins player in double digits. He, Cartalis, and Mick all have 11. Sardegna cutting inside, finding Hatfield. This is Stewart now. He's 4 of 7 from downtown. Thought about it, gave it up to Carroll instead. Hatfield wide open in the corner. Thorpe Johnson for three. 73-70 is our score. It's a 3-point game. Dolphins had a 6-point lead at half. Grew it to 13. And now it's a one-possession game. Austin Mick being fronted by Sardegna. Mick turns, gets it inside. Desteem. He looks to drive. In the corner to Mick for three. No good. Bouncing up. And it's a out of play. Last touch by the Dolphins. And a substitution here by Cartalis. You see the baseline three, that time by Thorpe Johnson. We'll keep it here as we have another media timeout, but you could see the three-pointers. And Mike, we talked about it at halftime. We talked about it in the early stages of the second half. It's those three-pointers that have really kept Curry in the game.
They really have, Dave. And, like you mentioned, the Dolphins led this game by a score of 68-55. And since then, it's been a 15-5 run that brought the Colonels right back into the game and made it a 3-point game.
Yeah, and Curry is shooting 12 of 27 from three-point range. Over half of their shots, or just under half of their shots, have been from three-point range. They're shooting 44% from downtown. And conversely, the Dolphins have been very, very good from the floor. They've shot 52%, but only 32% from downtown. 6 of 19. So it's been really the three-point shooting that has been the difference in this game. It's what's kept Curry involved, and the Dolphins up so many times by 13 points just cannot close.
Yeah, and they were up 13 at least 2 or 3 times, Dave, with the ball, and they either turned it over or really didn't get the kind of shot that they were looking for. Could never get that lead beyond 13, and give Curry a lot of credit. They've played really well, and the rebounding by Carroll, where he's now second all-time in the Tournament of Heroes.
Yep, only one away from Gary Blackett's CSI record in 2006. A couple of records could fall in this one. Up top, thinking about having a go, but then driving in, and then there's a block by Latunji off of Sardegna. Cartalis, Latunji, stutter-stepped, and he walked. Little bit of indecision that time for Latunji. Gives the ball back. Turnover number 16 for the Dolphins. As you can see, the block by Latunji. Unfortunately, the Dolphins could not convert the other way. So Curry again with possession of the basketball. Again down by a single possession if they take the three. Thorpe Johnson cutting inside, off the glass and in. 73-72 now. It's a 1-point game. Austin Mick slowing things down. Dolphins have never trailed in the game. Ziris looking for options. Finds Velasquez. Driving baseline. Pass was intercepted. Broken up originally by Mick. Bodies falling all over. Curry down the other end of the floor. 3 against 2. Thorpe Johnson for 3. It's good.
And the Colonels come all the way back, trailing 68-55 on a 20-5 run to take a 2-point lead.
Huge swing in momentum. Austin Mick now with 2:30 left in the game. Mick driving. Bounce pass. Velasquez for 3.
And so the Dolphins finally answer with a basket, and now they take a 1-point lead.
2:20 to go. Dolphins with a great answer by Velasquez. This is Carroll. And here's another 3-point attempt. That one is short. And the rebound was at first collected by Latunji. He got interfered with. Lucky there was no call on Stewart. But the Dolphins with a 1-point lead in possession here. We get another look at that last 3-pointer. At first by Thorpe Johnson. Dolphins had a response. Austin Mick. Hands off to Cartalis as we get the 2-minute warning involved. Austin Mick needs to do something. There's a foul by Stewart. Stewart a little bit too aggressive, Mike. Unnecessary there. As you can see, the clutch 3 that time by Velasquez.
Velasquez showing the confidence to put up that 3-pointer late in the game with the Dolphins down by 2 to give them a 1-point lead.
And the Dolphins are officially in the bonus. The next foul will bring them to the free throw line to shoot 1-and-1s. This is Mick now. Heavy defense on him. Under 10 on the shot clock. Mick driving all the way in off the glass.
Yeah, beautiful move that time by Mick to give the Dolphins a 3-point lead.
90 seconds to go in the game. This will come right down to the wire, folks. Thorpe Johnson to Stewart. Stewart to Carroll. He's hit from there. Back to Hatfield. Hatfield, a small window. Carroll with 13 on the shot clock. This is Stewart. Thorpe Johnson is wide open, and that pass almost got intercepted. He's still open on the baseline. Turnaround layup is good. 67 seconds left, and wanting to talk it over was Curry. We take another look at that great, confident drive by Mick. And we're going to keep it right here for the home stretch, Mike. Curry down to their final timeout.
Yeah, you know, that time, Dave, the Dolphins were challenging out by the 3-point line, but you left the Curry player wide open on the inside for the layup, as you see that short shot on the inside to make it a 1-point game. But Dolphins controlling their destiny. They have possession of the basketball, and they need a good shot here. And the Dolphins getting their last couple of baskets, one from Austin Mick, one from Chris Velasquez, to hold a 1-point lead. 67 seconds remaining in this one.
Well, CSI defending a Tournament of Heroes championship. They've won it in 2015, 2016, and 2018. But they can't defend it if they don't get to that championship game. That's tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Wheaton College, the Lions of Massachusetts, awaiting the winner of this one. Bridgewater will play the losing side tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll have both games here on CSI Sportsnet. Austin Mick now with the dribble against Sardinia. 15 on the shot clock. Sardinia now amps up the defensive pressure. Mick losing him, gets it over to Ziris. Ziris definitely looking Latunji's way, getting some space, driving in the lane, off the glass, no good. Got contact from Carroll. Carroll called for the foul. That'll be his 4th. And Joe Ziris is going to the line.
And Joe was hacked a couple of times before they finally got the foul, and now Ziris will go to the free throw line, and I believe that's going to be a 2-shot foul, Dave.
Yeah, it's a monster 2 shots here for Ziris, who is 1 for 2 from the line tonight and 13 of 25 for the season. A lot of pressure on the young man here. That first one rattles in.
Carroll with 4 fouls, Dave, for the Colonels.
Yeah, and Carroll, one of the potent players on the floor, 22 points, 18 rebounds. He's going to stay in the game, with no doubt about it. 42 seconds left. Ziris now with a monster second free throw coming here. It is good. Nothing but net. Dolphins back up by a trio. And here's Sardinia. Thorpe Johnson. Carroll to Thorpe Johnson. He'll let it loose if you let him. Hadfield to Stewart. Dolphins want to force a well-contested 3. Sardinia rolls inside, wide open. Thorpe Johnson for 3, it's good.
Yeah, Dave, I don't know what the Dolphins are doing, Dave, leaving wide open three-pointer when you're down by 3 in the final seconds.
This will be the last opportunity here. Otherwise, we're going to overtime. Timeout called by the Dolphins. Full timeout, 10.1 seconds. Mike, what do you draw up here?
Well, you need to get a good shot, and again, the Dolphins kind of compressed in their defense and left a wide open three-point shot. Not sure about that defensive sequence, but the Dolphins, with the basketball and 10 seconds remaining, have the game in their own hands.
Yeah, so another tie score here. Both teams have led just once in the game. Curry had a 75-73 lead with 2:48 left. Since then, the Dolphins took control. Led 80-77 just moments ago before that 3 by Thorpe Johnson, which has moved him up to 27 points in the game. And he started, Mike, 0 for 5 from three-point range. He's been 5 of 7 since. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, he really has been. And, you got to give Curry a lot of credit. They came back, they took the lead, and the Dolphins were able to push their lead back to 3 a couple of times. But Curry has kept coming and coming, and they've tied this game up at 80. And, it's going to come down to the last possession here for the Dolphins as they have 10 seconds remaining. So we'll see what kind of play the Dolphins have been working on. They've been off for a good 11 days, so let's see what head coach T.J. Tibbs can draw up.
Yep, and the Dolphins are in the bonus, so any foul, whether it's on a shot or away from the ball, it would lead to a 1-and-1 opportunity. Dolphins will reset here, 10 on the clock. This is Mick. Mick barking out signals, gets it over to Ziris. Ziris wants the drive. 3, 2, and a turnover. 2.2 seconds left. Ziris took too many steps, and a timeout, 30-second timeout. The final timeout called by Curry.
Yeah, the Dolphins with possession of the basketball can't get the ball to the rim. And, Dave, you go back to the Medgar Evers game, and it was basically a little bit of the same thing. The Dolphins with a 1-point lead in the basketball with 45 seconds remaining and really never got another point from that point forward. He had 10 seconds remaining in the basketball, and they don't get the ball to the rim.
Yeah, and they don't get the ball into the hands of Adeola Latunji either, Mike. Latunji, 12 of 19 from the floor. He's been quiet these last 5 or 6 minutes. He's cooled off a little bit from the floor, but when the game's on the line, Mike, you got to get the ball into your best player's hands, and Latunji didn't sniff it on that exchange. And now the Dolphins have to contend with 2.2 seconds left here and a red-hot Curry shooting team from three-point range. They've 47% from three-point range tonight. Dolphins will not contest the inbounds. This is Stewart. Puts one up. Desperation 3, no good. Very high off the backboard. We're going to have 5 extra minutes in this one, Mike.
Yeah, Dave, I'm not sure about that last play by Curry as well. I mean, with just a couple of seconds remaining, you might want to try to throw the ball into the backcourt, but they did get an opportunity to put the ball toward the basket. It's no good, so we're going to play 5 minutes, Dave. Basically 80-80, starting at 0.
Dolphins led this game for 37 minutes and then relinquished the lead at 2:48 to go. Managed to get a tie after 40 minutes. It's been a great game, so why not make it 45 minutes to decide it?
Yes.
Maybe.
Sorry, Dave, as the Dolphins get outscored 25-12 down the stretch as they give away a 13-point lead, and now we head into overtime. And now it's going to be the players coming out onto the floor. And, you're looking out, Dave, the one big player that you see in foul trouble for Curry is Carroll. And, if you're the Dolphins here, you might want to try to attack him. But the Dolphins really need to get themselves back on track offensively, Dave. Really, since the midway point or so of the second half, the offense really hasn't flowed that smoothly here for CSI.
So a fresh jump ball will determine how the alternating possessions go from here. Dolphins will have the ball first. CSI with the first possession of overtime. They led for so long in this game. Just couldn't close the door, but this is Velasquez. Drops it inside to Ziris. Nice feed by Velasquez to Ziris.
Beautiful play that time as the Dolphins get the basket and the 2-point lead.
Dolphins back up top. This is Carroll. Carroll dictating his way inside. Blocked by Ziris. And the rebound is collected by Ziris. Joe Ziris with block number 3 in the game. He's got 24 on the season. This is Mick now. Big possession here for the Dolphins. All the way in, reverse layup, no good. Did everything but finish. And here comes Thorpe Johnson the other way. Wide open, Sardinia for 3, that's good.
Yeah, Dave, you really got to wonder why the Dolphins are not coming out more aggressively to defend the 3-point shot, as they're now 15 of 32, Curry, on the afternoon from the 3-point line.
3-pointers have been the key for the Colonels all game long. This is Mick for 3 the other way, no good. Long rebound, it's won by Hatfield. So here comes Curry now, a chance to grow their lead. It's 1 point. Stewart looking inside for Carroll. Carroll working against Ziris. Finds Thorpe Johnson for 3. It's good. Thorpe Johnson on absolute fire. 6 of 13 from 3-point range. But he hasn't missed when it's counted the most. Latunji driving inside. He's fouled. Offensive foul.
Yeah, so things really falling apart here for the Dolphins, Dave. And, it kind of started midway through the second half. And, they really haven't been smooth offensively in the second half. And, we talked about what importance defense plays. And the Dolphin defense, especially from the 3-point line, just hasn't been there, Dave.
So Curry with a chance here to make it even bigger than a 2-possession game if they hit another 3. And it seems like that's been no problem for them in these last 6 or 7 minutes. There's a block by Latunji out of bounds on the layup attempt by Stewart. And again, Thorpe Johnson with that 3-pointer. Give Curry credit. They've taken some big shots.
Yeah,
they've made them all.
And they've hit both 3-pointers in the second half, and there they can't grab the rebound.
A big miss that time by Carroll. That was almost a gimme underneath. Carroll has slowed down. He's one of his last 4. Ziris now wants to attack. Hands off to Latunji. Latunji stops in the lane. That jumper is in and out. And with 2.5 minutes to go, the Dolphins desperately need a basket. 6-0 run by Curry. Baseline Sardinia. Tried to drop it off inside. Almost lost it. And they will take their time. Kind of wondering why Curry was so frantic there.
Yeah,
they can afford to take time off.
Smart play by the Colonels to back the ball out.
Sardinia driving inside. He might have traveled. I thought he did twice.
Yeah, they've been traveling all game long, Dave, and really running across the lane and hopping up with the ball, and really never have gotten called for it here so far tonight.
Probably get a replay of that, maybe even in slow-mo. We could take a look at it. Sardinia, we'll have to do it on a little bit of a break. He gets it back. Driving baseline. Sardinia in the corner, finding Stewart for 3. No good. Latunji gets the rebound.
Dolphins
Huge
need
possession.
a basket here, Dave, desperately.
Huge possession. Latunji stops. Jumper is good. Man, ice in his veins. That's a tough jumper to take. Dolphins down by 2. Looking for a stop. 100 seconds remaining in the game. Stewart bouncing it right to Cartalis. Cartalis first interfered with. Wants to get it to Latunji. He does. Oh, and he just missed the layup, but he will go to the line. Tough break that time. Stewart got just enough of that to interrupt Cartalis' dribble. And that is going to be the 5th foul, Mike, on Kieran Carroll. Huge loss. Ties the Tournament of Heroes record with 19 rebounds in the game. He'll finish with 22 points. And how about these 2 free throws for Adeola Latunji? He's 6 of 7 from the line. He'll have to deal with a arena, which is giving him nothing to work with here. No sound. Drains that first one. He's 7 of 8 from the line. Dolphins are down by 1 after being down by 4 in this overtime. Misses the second. Long rebound. It's won by Sardinia. So now with 82 seconds remaining, Curry with a 1-point lead. Sardinia almost lost it. Gets it back. Stewart Dolphins now playing man-to-man defense. Not willing to give up the open look. Ashley. Thorpe Johnson, quick three-pointer, no good, just missed it. Out of bounds, last touch by Ashley. He didn't miss it by much, Mike.
No, he didn't, and the Dolphins get possession of the basketball now, less than a minute to go.
Here we go. Clock will stop on every dead ball or made basket. We're under a minute to play. Velasquez, intercepted by Ashley. Ashley will go the other way. Spins inside. Blocking foul by Velasquez. He might have been in the semicircle. And now a three-point lead can grow to 4 on the made basket by Ashley. He's got 5 points. And he is 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah, so a big turnover there by the Dolphins. They had an opportunity to retake the lead. Instead, the Velasquez pass is stolen. And they're able to lay the ball up and in.
Yeah, you just don't want to see that kind of turnover, Mike, with the game on the line, inside of a minute left. Inexplicable. Free throw is missed. That's a big miss because it remains a one-possession game. There's still time here. Mick bouncing it out. He's now in three-point range. Looking for options. Finds Velasquez. Velasquez driving in. He travels. Another turnover for Velasquez.
2 turnovers in a row for Velasquez, and that could be the thing that seals the Dolphins' fate here tonight.
Yeah, and he and Stewart are jarring at one another. And, you know, if you're Velasquez, Mike, I don't mind the drive inside, but you have to know what you want to do. You either have to go to the basket, try and draw contact, but you can't just stop there with no options ahead of you. And a foul, quick foul on Velasquez off of Stewart. So now a chance for Curry to ice this one at the free throw line. The Dolphins, now it's a 1-and-1 opportunity, so Curry definitely needs this front end. Spencer Feng has come into the game for the Dolphins. Rigo Destime is coming in to replace Austin Mick. And Stewart now, a huge first attempt here. First free throw is good. And Stewart now with 16 points. He's 2 for 3 from the free throw line. It's a 2-possession game. Both teams with 2 timeouts to go. Second free throw, no good, long rebound, won by Curry. Ashley has it. Now to Feng. Dolphins have to foul, and they do. So Sardania will go to the line, and this is a chance here to close things out. And Mike, if the Dolphins can't come back here and lose this one, it'll be the second time in 3 games that they really fell apart in the closing minutes or so and gave away a game.
Yeah, you know, Dave, the Dolphins led 68-55 in this game.
But new life. Latunji the other way. Puts one in. And with 19.7 left, it's a 2-point game. So Curry failing to close the door on the Dolphins now.
Yeah, and, you know, we should mention Adeola Latunji is now the all-time leading scorer in the Tournament of Heroes. He breaks the record set by Tan Kensler of Kane back in 2003. And with 36 points, now holds the all-time Tournament of Heroes scoring record.
Yeah, Tan Kessler did it in 2003. It was the second annual Tournament of Heroes. Kane won that game over CSI in overtime as well. So it took Kessler overtime to score his 34. It's taken overtime for Latunji to score his 35. Mike, Latunji also, the 35 points, a career high for him as well in a career season for the senior.
Yeah, we should also add he had 10 rebounds and 5 blocks as well. But, you know, again, down the stretch, all the Dolphins struggled, including Adeola. Let's see if they can overcome it. Still in the game, trailing by 2. They should foul immediately if they don't steal the inbounds.
They decide not to foul the inbounder. Turnover, won by Velasquez. Inside give to Destime. Off the glass and in! 13.7 to go. And a tie score. It comes down to this. Feng over to Sardania. He's going to get fronted by Velasquez. He's out of control. Traveling violation on Sardania. And with 6.4 left, the Dolphins will have a chance as you get a replay on that last sequence. Another timeout is called. No idea on who called it, Mike, as we've just been in hysterics here. Unbelievable, Mike. Neither CSI nor Curry able to close the door. Curry left just a window of opportunity. CSI has entered that window, and they have a chance to win the game here again on a last-second opportunity.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, Dave, because the Dolphins had fallen behind, and, you know, it really looked like Curry had put themselves in great position to win the game, but the Dolphins never say die attitude, and coming up with the big turnover here in the 17th of the game for Curry, and the Dolphins now have an opportunity to close this one out with 6.4 seconds remaining in the game.
Now, I'm almost positive that what's on your screen is correct. Curry has one timeout to go, and the Dolphins are out of timeouts.
Yeah,
so if the Dolphins have a problem inbounding here, Mike, they have no options but to try and get it in. Otherwise, they're going to be guilty of a turnover right here at midcourt. So it's very, very important the Dolphins get the inbounds pass in. Looks like Curry's not going to contend the inbounds pass, which definitely benefits the Dolphins, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if I do that, Dave.
He'll get the full 6 seconds to work. Destim, he drives inside, penetrates off the glass, no good. 1 second left. Frank puts up a desperation three. It's no good. It's just short. Double overtime we go. 89-89. It's been a great one here at the Tank.
Boy, Dave, I'll tell you, the Dolphins looked dead for a minute there, down by 4 late in the game, 86-82, but able to come back and really get the big turnover, and that led to the basket. And the Dolphins now will play a second overtime. They've kind of been given a new life, Dave. Let's see if they can take advantage of it here at the Tank.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb, Mike, and say this is the first double overtime game in Tournament of Heroes history. There have been a few overtime games. I'm counting 3 overtime games, including this one. 4 overtimes, including this one. But, yep, this is the first double overtime game in Tournament of Heroes history. And why not?
Yeah.
Another 5 minutes. It's been that kind of a game. First ever meeting between these two teams will go down as a good one.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at the Tournament of Records, Tournament of Heroes all-time record, Adeola Latunje now on top with 36 points and still another 5 minutes to go.
Yep, and a couple of things to consider. Nobody in any real foul trouble, at least at this point. Ziris has 3 for the Dolphins, and Thorpe Johnson and Ashley both have 3 for Curry, so a little bit to keep our eyes on here. The Dolphins have 9 team fouls, so their next foul will put Curry on the line shooting 2. The Colonels have 8 team fouls, so their next foul will put the Dolphins on the line for a 1-and-1, and then, of course, another foul gets them in the 2-shot bonus. Dolphins won the jump, and Curry will get the benefits of the arrow. This is Latunji driving inside. Latunji off the glass and in.
Great body control by Adeola as he builds on his all-time tournament record in points.
So the Dolphins take the first lead of the double overtime period, 91-89. Continuing to work here is Curry around the horn. Hadfield, Ashley from the just outside the free throw line. Intercepted by Destim. Here comes Destim the other way, and he finger rolls it in. Dolphins lead by 2 scores.
Smart move by Rigo, playing it safe, laying it up in the basket, not trying anything fancy with the breakaway layup.
Hadfield controls, gave it over to Ashley. Now Curry needs a basket. 3-point attempt. That one's partially blocked into the hands of Thorpe Johnson. Thorpe Johnson off the glass and in.
Yeah, nice block by the Dolphins, but they can't grab the basketball. Curry able to put it in to make it a 2-point game.
And the Dolphins now up by 2. Rigo Destim with 7 points. None bigger than that last score. This is Cartalis. Stops, puts up a floater, and it's received by Ziris, who puts it in. That was a shot attempt. There's no way that was a pass by Cartalis. But Ziris, right place, right time, puts it in.
17 for Joe.
Turning in a great game, Joe Ziris. Ashley almost had it taken away from him and stolen away by Ziris.
Smart play that time by Ziris, handing the ball back to Destim. Dolphins can set up now with a 4-point lead.
Zira, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. He's had himself a night. Desteem, 14 on the shot clock. Gets away from Sardinia. Foul on Sardinia.
Yeah, Sardinia was riding him all the way home, and the official called the foul, and that's going to send Rigo to the free throw line now for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and that's the key here. Desteem is 1 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. The Dolphins as a team, 14 of 20, and even 70%.
57% for the season.
And he missed the first one badly, and possession goes back to Curry, down by 4. So Curry with some life as the Dolphins leave the door a little open. Sardinia to Stewart. Stewart, Velasquez all over him. Ashley. Thorpe Johnson. He's been red hot. Hadfield. He's made a big 3 in this one. Drops off to Sardinia, who's gotten a lot of time here in overtime. Stewart wants a screen. Doesn't get it. Goes the other way instead. Drops off inside. Beautiful pass by Stewart to Thorpe Johnson, and it's a 2-point game again.
Beautiful patience that time by the Colonels to make it a 2-point game.
Yeah, and that shot just inside the shot clock, too. Desteem will control. To Velasquez. To Ziris. Around the horn, Cartalis. Cartalis, baby jumper right on the baseline. That one's good.
He missed the baby jumper the last time, stuck with it, and hit that one.
He was stuck on 11 points for a long time. Cartalis now with 13. Thorpe Johnson, he's been the go-to, especially since Carroll has fouled out. Ashley interfered with by Ziris. That'll be Ziris' 4th personal. As we get another look at that last sequence there, Cartalis up over 2 defenders, making that one count. And Ashley now with a couple of huge attempts here. He is 1 for 3 from the free throw line.
69% free throw shooter coming into the game.
Gotten a lot of time here in overtime. He's only got 5 points today. He has added 4 rebounds. He bends at the knees, puts that one up, no good off the back iron. He thought it was a 1-and-1. It is not.
He's got one more.
Good follow-up, though.
It was a nice move.
He's got to worry about making this one, though. Otherwise, possession likely goes back to the Dolphins with Curry down by 2 scores. 1:49 to go.
Dolphins have to make sure to secure the rebound if there's a miss.
Ashley 1 for 4 from the free throw line. He misses the second, and Ziris is there for the rebound, his 12th. That's where the loss of Carroll hurts too, Mike, for Curry. He's been a monster on the boards. Tied the tournament record for rebounds in a game with 19. This is Desteem in the lane. Short jumper, no good. He missed it. And out of control and out of bounds is Sardinia. He wanted the call, never got it. And the Dolphins have it again, just inside 90 seconds.
I think that time the Dolphins might have gotten a little bit of a break, Dave, as there was contact on the play, but the official ruled there was no foul as we get a chance to look at the end of it. Let's see what the Dolphins could do with the extra possession.
I think Sardinia also got called with a delay of game warning. And here's Desteem now in the corner. 10 seconds to go. Desteem again drives in. He can't get the layup to fall, but he will go back to the line, this time to shoot 2.
Yeah, I think it was Ashley that picked up the foul, Dave. He did. It's his 4th. Both teams with 10 now, so both teams in the double bonus. So Desteem to go to the free throw line.
I'll tell you, that's a lonely feeling when you're 1 for 3 from the line and none of your teammates are there at the line with you. But Desteem, cool as a cucumber, makes that first one. And the Dolphins are up by 5. So, you know, Mike, I've been awfully presumptuous with what I've been saying here. Who's going to win, who's going to not. But now the game is the Dolphins to lose here. They're up by 6 with 78 seconds left. They've got to close this one out.
Yeah, Dolphins got to try to prevent the 3-point shot.
And that's been the saving grace for Curry all game long. It's what's really bailed them out each and every time. Stewart inside. Layup was no good. Feng finds Stewart in the corner for 3. It's good. Unbelievable, the 3-pointers that have fallen for Curry.
Well, the Dolphins had an opportunity to grab the rebound, Dave. Defensively, they couldn't do it, and it led to a 3-point opportunity. So this game isn't over yet. 3-point game, 57.1 seconds remaining as the Dolphins just couldn't grab that defensive rebound.
So Stewart drives inside, misses the layup by hitting the bottom of the rim, and somehow Colonels get the rebound, and then Stewart's able to make it hurt. And again, Mike, you got to give a lot of credit to this Colonels team, especially a kid like Stewart. You miss a layup, you find yourself open in the baseline, no hesitation whatsoever. Knew he was going to shoot it right from the minute it hit his fingertips and just buried it. Another cool shot by the young man, and that's what you need in games like this, Mike. Nerves of steel.
Yeah, and again, it's been a back-and-forth game. Both teams seem like they might be out of it. Both teams have fought back, and, now Curry trying to fight back from a 6-point deficit with under 90 seconds remaining. Big possession here for the Dolphins. They need to get a good shot.
So the Dolphins up by 6 with over a minute left. You think it's comfortable, and just like that, Curry makes you wonder. They're down by just 3 now, and they have shot 17 three-pointers in this game. Just amazing.
They're shooting 46%, but hitting big ones down the stretch.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We don't have any records kept for how many three-pointers have been scored in the game, but we're approaching that for sure. Another high-scoring affair here, where who knows, both teams might finish with over 100 points. Dolphins can take their time. Velasquez to Destine. 10 on the shot clock. This is Ziris getting it to Latunji. Back to Ziris. Extends. Offensive foul, and Ziris is fouled out. Ziris has fouled out. He turned his back to the basket, Mike, and that might have been what did him in. And now the Dolphins have to get somebody up to play a huge 32.7 seconds to end this one. Ziris, we'll get another look at it. You see, he was a little bit out of play. I don't mind the call, Mike, because Ziris had no idea what he was going to do. Christian Kopech is going to come back in for Ziris. So Ziris, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and has fouled out of the game.
Yeah, so the Dolphins don't get the ball to the rim. Let's see how they can defend.
And we'll see if Curry chooses to work the shot clock and get the last shot, potentially to tie. It's intercepted by Destine, and he's immediately fouled by Feng. The best defender on the team, Rigo Destine, is going to be able to make this a 2-possession game. He'll get 2 trips from the line. What a moment for Rigo.
Yeah, what a play that time by Destine. A big play, again, the Dolphins had just turned the ball over, but Rigo returns the favor, and now Destine can go to the free throw line with an opportunity to make it a 2-possession game.
Intentional foul, so it'll give Rigo the shots, and it'll give the Dolphins possession too, and this could be the dagger. First free throw is good.
Boy, Dave, I got to be honest. I hate that call.
Me too.
I think that's a terrible call. It's very unfair. There's nothing wrong with fouling a player off a steal, and with 20 seconds remaining, and it's great if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, but I really don't think that's a good call.
So it's a 4-point game, a 2-possession game with 20.6 left. The Dolphins will have possession again.
And what a huge break that is for the Dolphins, Dave. Even though Rigo hit 1 of 2, It gives them an opportunity to inbound. If Curry can't steal, they're going to have to foul.
Correct.
So, a nice break for the Dolphins.
I'm surprised they're not guarding the inbounds. The Dolphins are able to get it in easily. And a quick timeout by Kopech. TJ Tibbs did not like the decision by Kopech to call timeout. And I don't really understand the timeout, Mike, because now the Dolphins just have to redo an inbounds pass.
Yeah, I think Christian felt that he's had his back turned to the floor and was pressed up against the sideline. And, if you feel you're going to turn it over, I guess calling a timeout is a good thing. And, Dave, with 19.6 seconds remaining and a 4-point lead, the Dolphins are in really good position, but it's just been that kind of wild and crazy night. But, the Dolphins really with an opportunity to take advantage of that Destine steal. He's able to hit 1 free throw to make it a 2-possession game. And with that foul call, the Dolphins maintain possession. So a good opportunity here for the Dolphins to see if they can finally close this game out. It looked like the Dolphins were going to win in regulation. It looked like that Curry was going to pull it out in the first overtime. Both teams never saying die. Both teams fighting to the wire. Let's see what the final 19.6 seconds bring. As the Dolphins hit 100, Dave.
Yeah, you'd like to feel comfortable up by 4 with 19.6 and possession, but this game has said otherwise. No way are you allowed to feel that way. As Latunji gets it, he needs to get fouled, and he will.
Yeah, that's a possession that you don't put up a shot. You wait for the foul, and that time they got the foul and, an opportunity to extend, but the Dolphins will not be able to extend it beyond a 2-possession game, but just 16.9 seconds remaining is Adeola Latunji with an opportunity to extend his Tournament of Heroes high, as that first one is way off. And Adeola's played all 50 minutes here tonight, Dave.
Yeah, he's 7 of 10 from the line. He started 7 of 8 from the line.
I got to say, Dave, he doesn't even look tired in the least. Look at the condition that he's obviously in.
Just a tremendous player, having a tremendous season. The second free throw is good. So the Colonels are down by 5 with 16 seconds left. So they need a 3, a foul, and another 3 potentially. And there's the layup, no good. Thorpe Johnson with the put-in, 8.1 left. The Colonels find themselves down by 3. Not quite sure I would have went that way, Mike. But, I guess the Colonels are hoping for a quick turnover here and then a 3 to potentially tie it.
Yeah, Dave, and even off the miss, they stuck with it. They grabbed the offensive rebound and they tipped it in. So they've given themselves a chance with 8.1 seconds remaining.
If this final holds, we'll have Adeola Latunji join us at the end of this game as undoubtedly our player of the game. He's got 38 points. He's got 10 rebounds, so he's made the double-double. Also had 6 blocks, 4 assists, and 3 steals.
Yeah, that's what you want, Dave. You want your players to fill up the score sheet, and you go up and down the Dolphins lineup here today. Players chipping in all different ways. Desteem has got himself up to 10 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. Ziris with the good game that you were mentioning, Dave, 17 points on 7 of 10 shooting.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, they got 6 minutes from Christian Kopech, who's come into the game again, 5 from James Delahanty, but otherwise it's been really a 6-man rotation the entire game. Dolphins will put everybody on the baseline. So Curry has no idea where this one's going to go. They get it over to Desteem, and with 6.4, he is fouled. And so Desteem is going to go to the line. Mike, he's just 4 of 7 from the line, but 1 shot could put the cherry on top of this one.
Yeah, Rigo needs to hit at least 1 of 2 here to make it a 2-possession game. As you mentioned, Dave, 4 of 7 from the line here tonight, 10 points.
First is good, so the Dolphins now make it a 2-possession game with 6.4 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Tournament record is 104 points. It was done twice. Dolphins approaching that.
And now we go with 11 points, Dave, 10 in the second half and overtime.
Mm-hmm. Desteem's second is good. The Dolphins are up by 5 with 6 seconds left. If I were them, I would just put everybody aside. Almost intercepted by Latunji. 2.9 seconds left. TJ Tibbs telling his pupils not to defend here. Just let them shoot. Stewart, a long 2. I was counted as a 3, but no good anyway. The Dolphins hold on, 103 to 98. A wild ride, Mike, from start to finish. And the Dolphins are able to finish what they started and come out of here with a win.
Yeah, it was a real exciting game. It looked like the Dolphins were going to cruise to a victory when they went up by 13, 68-55. But instead, a great job by Curry, able to close the game down and actually pull out in front in the second half before the Dolphins and Curry ended up the first half. The first regulation period tied at 80, and then in the first overtime, the Dolphins fell behind 86-82 before scoring 7 of the last 10 points to tie it at 89. And then in overtime, the Dolphins able to figure out a way to get a victory here as they defeat Curry by a final of 103-98. And they will play Wheaton College tomorrow at 3 o'clock for the Tournament of Heroes Championship as the Dolphins look to make it 2 championships in a row, as head coach T.J. Tibbs nice enough to join us after that exhilarating double overtime win.
So T.J., but a little bit of ups and downs in that second half. Had us going there for a while in overtime, but it's nice to see your team resilient enough to close this one out.
And to fight. And, it's very important the way that we bounced back and the way that we got together. There was a couple of times where it looked real bleak. After the technical foul, their team really ratcheted up the intensity and the pressure. We weren't able to match that. And there's a couple times they had the game in their grasp, but our kids continue to fight. And I'm just really, really super proud of them.
And, TJ, a lot of your games this year have been lopsided for, lopsided against. The game against Medgar Evers came down to the wire. Your team fell in that one. What does it say about the team's growth to be involved in a game that comes down to the wire and to pull it out?
It says a lot. I mean, call it what you want, but playing in 70, 50-point, 30-point blowouts is tough on the kids, and I need to do a better job. I haven't done a great job so far, and it's tough on the kids, and I need to put them in better situations. But when we get in close games like the ones in Medgar and the one like this one, we need to be a little bit better. We haven't played a lot of games that have this type of closeness in the end. Even in our wins, it hasn't been close. So we need to do a better job. That's on me. So I'm really proud of the kids, especially in the overtime. Well, we're down 2 and we're pressing. We don't usually do that, and we get a deflection, we score. And, I like I said, I'm just really proud of the kids.
TJ, the Dolphins did a great job bouncing back down 4 in that second overtime period, 86-82. What'd you say to the players when you were coming down the stretch down by 4?
I can't take any credit. Seniors, older guys, I mean, they kept saying it's on us, it's on us. Like I said, they continue to fight. I haven't done a great job with this team so far, and the team has continued to pick me up. And that's what they did tonight. I mean, this game was about the guys, the players. So many different runs, the game was so close. They played their hearts out, and the guys really, bailed us out.
And Adeola Latunji finishing with 38 points, TJ, the all-time Tournament of Heroes scoring record for Adeola here tonight. He played all 50 minutes. What about Adeola's effort here tonight?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be me without chiding him a little bit. I mean, he should have had 50 points, and that's no disrespect to the guys that were guarding him. It's just, I thought early in the game he was settling. He's got to knock down free throws. I don't know what he was from the free throw line, but, I mean, that's something that we know he's capable of, that he could do. I wish he scored more points. The kid deserves everything. And in a season like this, that's really tough for a senior to come out and to have his name in that book and to do something. I mean, that means a lot. That kid's never going to forget that.
TJ, you have to turn around less than 24 hours. You got to play a tough Wheaton team tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Try to defend your Tournament of Heroes championship. What do you got to do less than 24 hours from now?
Well, honestly, what we're going to talk about, and the kids, we have experience because it just seems like last year in the semifinal game and then bouncing back and playing the game against Baruch in the championship. And also the same situation playing the tough Bates team and then bouncing back and playing tough the next night. So the one thing that I'm proud of is that we prepare these guys for situations like this. They got to take care of their legs. They're going to get in the ice bath. They're all not going to like that, but they got to get in the ice bath. And Wheaton is a tremendous team, great program, well coached. They played a great game earlier, and, of course, it's going to be a great game.
Well, TJ, congratulations on win number 4 of the season. Good luck tomorrow afternoon.
And thank you. And one thing I want to say, and I want to make sure to come on, I know there's a lot of Curry College people watching the game, and the guy on the other side of the sidelines means a lot to me. And that team has gotten – I've watched every single one of their games, and that team gets better and better every time they play. I mean – they have one of the best coaches in the country, and that's not because he means a lot to me. He's really taken one of the toughest jobs in the country of any level, JUCO, high school, Division I, II, III, and he's really building something special there. So for him to come here in his hometown and for the team to perform like that, and honestly to have chances to win the game at the end and to be in control, I don't know if the people at Curry College understand how hard he works, how much of a great job that he does. And it's not easy to come into the Tournament of Heroes, 6-hour bus ride, you get off the bus, and then play a basketball game and play 50 minutes and play a lot what they do. I mean, like I said, that guy on the other side, Joe Busaka, means a lot to me, but he's one of the best coaches that's in the country, and I hope everybody in that program and everybody in that Curry College community appreciates that, because I love watching that team play all the time.
Well, very well said, TJ, and we're obviously looking forward to watching them play again tomorrow afternoon as well. They put on a great show here for us, and we're looking forward to seeing them and you guys for the marquee game tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you giving me that time.
Absolutely. So we're going to get Adeola Latunji on as well in our extended post-game coverage. So Addy, nice enough to join us after a career game for him as well. There you go. You got it. So, Addy, a great game for you, Addy, all 50 minutes. You guys had a long layoff coming into this game, so to get back out here to play 50 minutes, and most importantly, to get out of this thing with a win, how does it feel?
It's very good. They played a hell of a game, and, we have things to improve on. We had a lot of mistakes, and, that's what film is for, so I'm looking forward to that and get better.
On a personal level, you came out probably the hottest player on the court on either side. You end up finishing with 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Were you feeling it tonight more than other nights?
No, I'm just trying to play this, I'm trying to be better than it's me versus me all the time. So, I'm just trying to be better and keep growing, Don't put no limits on myself. So I'm just.
And Addy, I mentioned this to TJ. You guys have been a part of a lot of lopsided games this season. Lopsided for, lopsided against. And the last real close game you guys were in was that Medgar Evers game. I know you guys were really disheartened by dropping that game. So what does it say to actually play a tough game like this that comes down to the wire? How much better is it to be on the receiving end of a win?
Yeah, it's much better. It's basketball, so it happens. It happens at times. So, we just got to prepare. We prepare and practice for those type of situations all the time. So it's really good.
Adeola, what was the attitude of the players out on the floor? You had a 13-point lead late in the second half, and Curry was able to bounce back. And a 4-point lead, a 4-point deficit you guys had in the first overtime, and you were able to bounce back. What's the mindset on the team that enables you to come back from those kind of adversity?
You just got to stay grounded. You can't overreact to, basketball is a game of runs. So, you just got to go with your coach, see what he has a plan, and follow that.
Last year you guys played 2 really tough games before winning the Tournament of Heroes against Tufts University. You got Wheaton tomorrow. What are you guys looking to do against Wheaton College?
Coach is gonna watch. We're gonna all watch film. See how they play. We saw a couple of it before our game, so we have a good idea. But, we're just looking to get some rest and then be ready for tomorrow.
All right, Adeola, you had a tremendous game. You're having a phenomenal season. Good luck tomorrow, and let's try and bring home that second straight championship.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Adeola Latunji, nice enough to join us, having a spectacular season, is now the all-time leader in points scored in a single game in tournament history. And what better way to wrap it up, Mike, than with a W? And the Dolphins, go to 4-6 and look to go 5-6 and look to take home their first trophy as a Division II program tomorrow.
Yeah, Dave, and you know that Adeola scored his 1,000th point earlier this year, and he's climbing up the ladder of all-time leading Dolphin scorers, and, really played well. And, you really got to give the Dolphins a lot of credit. They fell behind in regulation time. They fell behind 4 points very late in that first overtime. They were able to get that huge steal and tie the game up before ultimately going on to win. And, really a lot of credit to the Dolphins. And, Joe Zaris played a great game. Cartalis played a great game. Rigo Desti was great in the second half and in the overtime. Really right up and down the list of Dolphin players, they played really well. And, TJ kept the bench really short tonight. And, I got to disagree a little bit with TJ. I think he's doing a phenomenal job coaching this team. And, they're undersized and they're playing in a new division. And, I really think that head coach TJ Tibbs is doing a phenomenal job with this team.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. And, I know, like Adeola says, it's always him against himself. I know TJ's very much the same way, always his own worst critic, always looking to improve that 1% from game to game. But, Mike, you said it, all 5 Dolphin starters finalized in double figures tonight. We can't discount the job that Thorpe Johnson did tonight. He had 34 points for Curry. And then, of course, you have Kieran Carroll, who finished with 19 points and 19 rebounds in abbreviated 40 minutes because he fouled out as well. So,
I just want to mention, Dave, Thorpe Johnson with that 34 points is now tied for second with Tan Kessler. So Latunji breaks the record with 38, and Carroll was right there. And I'm sorry, Thorpe Johnson was right there with 34 points, and Carroll played a very strong game as well. Fouled out with 19 rebounds, or he might have broken Gary Blackett's record instead of just tying it.
Well, you can look around. We're the only ones left here, Mike, as most of the crowd has filed out. It was a great game. Mike and I will be back here tomorrow afternoon. Our consolation game will be at 1 o'clock. It will feature Bridgewater College against this same Curry College team that we saw here in the nightcap. And then in the championship game at 3 o'clock, it will be the College of Staten Island taking on Wheaton College of Massachusetts. So for everyone here at the College of Staten Island, of course, in the 18th Annual Tournament of Heroes, for our statisticians across the way, Joe Foreman, Samantha Flecker, our camera operator, Ednita Lorenzo, for Nick Durst, easily our prized engineer here who does everything spectacular. I don't know how many replays we have. I think he set a record here in that category as well.
Tournament of Record Heroes, Nick Durst.
We'll have to start keeping that statistic as well. But he's the gentleman here. Doesn't get a lot of FaceTime on camera, but he's been just tremendous for us. So we thank him. For Mike Babusky, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you guys a very good night. Be sure to join us here tomorrow, 12:45 on the air, 1 p.m. opening tip-off with Consolation Championship game at 3 o'clock. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And once again, your final score, the College of Staten Island 103, Curry 98 in double overtime. Have a good night, everyone.
Awesome.
All right, so, Nick, the only thing we're going to put away are the